Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Another watch along, another Sunday, another watch along. Week after a major, a lot of top
Hello,
guys.
hello, hello.
Oh, no, that's not working.
What the heck?
Welcome, everybody. Another watch along, another Sunday, another watch along. Week after a major. Oh, that's why. I was listening. I had the stream up on the other computer. Anyways, a lot of top guys skipping. But there's some big names. Tommy Fleetwood's up there. I mean, Ricky Fowler's playing in the final threesome, but he's not. He's laying an egg. Aldred Pocketer, exciting 20-year-old. Scotty's kind of lurking there, trying to keep a respectable top 10. He's in 8th right now. Tommy's only 5 back. I mean, weird stuff's happened. Ben Griffin started off eagle birdie his first couple holes and has gone in the other direction. His lead is down to 2. So they're on the 10th tee right now. The final threesome of Matty Schmid, Ricky Fowler, and Ben Griffin. And we're gonna sit and we're gonna watch. We're gonna chat as we normally do. The new Colonial, same ethos, same bones as the old Colonial, but obviously way less trees. But a lot of dog legs, rough on both sides, an old school golf course. Schmid's going with the driving iron, little cutter down the left side. He made a really good putt for birdie on 9 to close the lead at 2. And I believe he birdied 8 as well. So birdie 8 and 9. Let's see. I think Matty Schmid birdied 8 and 9. Yeah, he did. Oh boy, Matty Schmid. Good stuff there, kid. We got Bud Colley continuing, probably going to be, I think Gary Woodland's up there too, but you think maybe Bud has a good chance of being comeback player of the year, just from absolutely nowhere. I mean, I remember I was playing pool with him a couple years ago and was asking him if he was going to even try to come back to playing golf, and he said yes, but it was sort of like sheepishly. He didn't know how it was going to go, and he's been tremendous this year. Really, really good stuff this year. I mean, he's up to, let's see where he is. And he is up to Data Golf. Where's Bud Colley? Data Golf. He's been consistent. In Florida, he's up to 72 in Data Golf, which is really good. Really good for a guy who missed a bunch of years, had 3 top 10s in a row. And he made RBC Heritage no cut, Zurich T28, PGA Championship made the cut, another solid week this week. So the strong play continues for Bud Colley. Super nice guy. I think everybody's happy to see him back. Ben Griffin also going with a driving iron on 10. Must be playing downwind. He's birdied this hole all 3 days. And that's on a very similar line to Schmid, also down the center. Ben Griffin's got an interesting golf swing. He almost like kind of lashes at it, right? It looks like, some guys I'm thinking about like a Jake Knapp, right? And I always bring up Jake Knapp as my sort of like benchmark for comparisons when it comes to swing. But I always think, if you think of Jake Knapp on one end of the spectrum of like super long, and it almost looks like the ball just kind of gets in the way. And then you've got Ben Griffin, and there's definitely like a hit at the ball. A little bit more of a violent move, but obviously getting it done. And he and Novak have been kind of the two killers in these non-signature events. I feel like they won together at Zurich, and they're both up there this week. I mean, Ben Griffin finished 8th last week at the PGA Championship. He finished 4th at the Cognizant, 4th in Mexico, 7th in the American Express. So this is the 1, 2, 3. This is really the 4th sort of normal PGA Tour event. And when I say normal, I mean lowercase n. They're all normal, but non-signature that he's had a chance to win. And Novak was up there at the beginning of the day. Let's see what's happened to our friend Andrew Novak. Andrew Novak was in the I want eyes on this guy pairing last week at the PGA Championship. He played with Keegan the first 2 days, and I found him afterwards. Keegan shot 4 under the first round, and I found him afterwards, and I said, "How was he?" He said, "That was a job interview." He said, "That felt like a job interview." So that's a little bit more pressure than you maybe hope for in the first couple rounds of a major. If you guys are watching this, you're an absolute golf sicko, and I love you. And we're here every single week. We don't discriminate. That's the last thing we do, is discriminate against tournaments. We're here for them all. We are here for them all. It's a holiday weekend. Am I remembering wrong, or did the tour used to finish on Memorial Day on a Monday? I feel like that was a thing. Maybe there was like a five tournament event or something. I'm thinking. I don't know. You'd think they would finish on a Monday, TV wise, but well, I guess Memorial's next week. That's the problem with like just pushing a tournament to Mondays. Mondays is like such a key preparation day for these guys. Memorial's big next week. No Rory though. No Rory next week. He was in Bilbao to watch Man United put up an absolute stinker against Tottenham. That's the last time I'm going to speak of it. It makes me angry. It makes me angry. I don't want to say stuff that makes me angry. It's a nice Sunday. The weather's perfect here in California. Tournament's better than I thought it was going to be. Except for that leaderboard appears locked, doesn't it? Yeah, what's going on with our leaderboard over here? Why is it not updating? It should be updating. Oh, it updated. Maybe I had to open it. Not sure. But that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. 2-shot lead, 9 holes to go, and we're going to be here through the entirety of it. Making it a little cooler in here. As just as I said, the weather was perfect. It's getting a bit hot. That's how it goes. If you're watching, talk to me. We can answer questions in the chat. This is good. This is a very low stress watch along. High stress for the guys who are trying to win the tournament. Low stress for us here at home. We're still coming off a major. We got the Memorial next week, Canadian Open, which is, probably the biggest, I would say, non-signature event just in terms of like footprint, and it's a national open. And I'm actually going to Canada, going to the Canadian Open for the first time. Made that decision a couple of weeks ago. We got Bud Cauley here. What a beautiful roll right into the middle. A strong worm cam from CBS to start out with. Bud Cauley is 211 under. He's only 3 back. So if Griffin plays this backside and over par, we got a lot of guys who are right there. Tommy bogeyed the par 5/10 though. That was a big. I really wanted to see if Tommy could chase it today. Because it's not. Granted, it's not a huge event. It's not a legacy changer, but it would get the monkey off his back absolutely if not having one on the PGA Tour. That's significant. It doesn't matter what tournament it is. If he won this one, saying, oh, he hasn't won a signature event, doesn't quite hold weight. It's like there's two, you got to win on the PGA Tour and you got to win a major championship. Those are sort of the 2 benchmarks, and he can get one of those behind him today. So it's a big opportunity for Tommy, but he is 5 back. And it was a big opportunity for Ricky too, playing in the final threesome. He's 2 over for the day after his first 9 holes, still time, but that's sort of what these weeks are for, right? With these non-signature events, guys who've fallen down a level, who are not into the signature events. Ricky and Jordan have been on the sponsor exemption diet pretty much all year. They're racking them up. All right, middle of the fairway for Ben Griffin on 10. He's got 157 yards in, so that tee shot went about 235. Right between those 2 trees. Looks like it's going a little right of it. Yeah, right and long. That's no simple 2-putt. That's going to be 50 feet. Yep, 51 feet 8 inches. Dialed in already. Dialed in with the Tourcast. Hello, says underage South Africa watching Aldrich Potgieter. Closing them down. I thought I was going to say chasing them down. It's just closing them down. Yeah, Aldrich's still 20 years old. We all remember he lost the longest player on the tour, lost in a playoff to the shortest player on the tour. Where was that? Was that Mexico? I think it was back in Mexico. All right, we got Ricky's second shot into 10 here on a better line, better distance. It must be hard to hold that green. It must be downwind or the green kind of sloping like this because everything's releasing. Still rocking the Sunday orange. Some things never change with Rick. What do you think of Scotty's chances? I got him paying 29-1 yesterday. Well, he's 7 shots back. He's already played a par 5. I don't feel great about them. If he was at 9 under, I would say there's a chance, but 7 shots back. That's a lot of shots back. He would have to shoot like at least 5 under on the backside, which he's capable of doing. I mean, Scotty is absolutely capable of birdieing 5 holes in a row. We've seen him do it so many times on tour, but Matty Schmidt's kind of the one with the best chance. His is coming in higher than Ben Griffin's, still bleeding right. That's going to end up a little bit better. So you can see 3 shots in the middle of the fairway there. You got trees on both sides, kind of a classic Colonial hole. Both hitting, all 3 guys, I believe, hitting iron off the tee. It's just like a runway. You've got rough on the right, you've got rough on the left. Trees on the right, trees on the left, bunkers on the right, bunkers on the left. Very straightforward. Who's the most electric youngster on tour? Well, can I wait a week and say Luke Clanton? I I got to see him at NCAAs earlier this week. I'm going back down there. So tomorrow is the last round of stroke play for the NCAAs. And then we've got match play starting on Tuesday. Quarters and semis are on Tuesday, I think. And the finals on Wednesday, or it might be, I mean, there's only 3 rounds. It might be the other way around. All right. Tommy Fleetwood on 12 for birdie. That is right the entire way. And that's going to roll past. It's probably about 5 feet coming back for Tommy Fleetwood. Let's call it 4 feet. But I'll say Luke Clinton. I think we haven't seen an amateur with this kind of success. I mean, Nick Dunlap was a different case, right? First amateur to win on the PGA Tour in 30-something years since Phil Mickelson, but it wasn't like there was a sustained run of, oh, Nick Dunlap is up there every week. Nick Dunlap is up there every week. He won, and there was no real talk about him turning pro. He got a sponsor's invite and then won the tournament, and his whole career changed overnight. He then won again later in the season, which is amazing. Really struggling right now. Really, really struggling is Nick Dunlap. But he's a kid. So I'll say Luke Clinton. I just think finishing second twice already on tour is an amazing accomplishment. And when I watch this guy play, it looks so tour ready. He hits it so far, hits everything left to right. He's got a tee shot off the tee that he goes to. That is, I mean, he's still in the upper 180s off the tee, but always cutting. Doesn't really hit wild shots. He's got all the confidence in the world. I'll say Luke Clinton. I'm really excited to watch. He's making his pro debut next week. Tommy's in for par on 12. He's making his pro debut next week at the Canadian Open. The guy who made his pro debut this week is David Ford. Let's see where he missed the cut. So he was Ford was the number 1 player in college golf this year. He won 5 times, 1 PGA Tour U. So that's only the seniors. So Luke Clinton not on that list. He's a junior. He's going to skip his senior year and go right to the PGA Tour. Jackson Coyven, the sophomore at Auburn, if he finishes in the top 10 at NCAAs this week and he's in a tie for 8th going into the final round, so the odds are over 50%, he'll also get his PGA Tour card through PGA Tour U accelerated, and he would also be eligible to start playing full-time on the PGA Tour at the Canadian Open. So we could have, Jackson has said repeatedly that he's going to stay, and Auburn is number 1 in the country, and they're leading in stroke play right now. They're a powerhouse. The best program in college golf probably right now. You could say Florida's up there. They won the national championship 2023. They won the SECs this year, but Auburn entered as the number 1 seed, and they're cruising into match play. We could have 3 college players make their debut if Coyven has a change of heart at the Canadian Open. 3 college players go right away. 1 senior would be David Ford, 1 junior would be Luke Clinton, and then 1 sophomore would be Jackson Coyven. And all 3 of those guys, and I'm forgetting Gordon Sargent. Gordon Sargent is going to join the PGA Tour next week. Also, Gordon Sargent for Vanderbilt, and Ben Griffin hit its tap-in range on 10. I haven't lost track of the golf, but forgive me for getting a little sidetracked with the leaderboard and the way things stand right now. There could be 4 because Gordon Sargent locked up his card through PGA Tour U accelerated, decided to come back his senior year, completely lost his game. Vanderbilt is playing right now at the NCAA championships, and Gordon Sargent is not there. He didn't travel as one of the top 5 or the top 6, but he still earned his PGA Tour card, and so he gets a year and a half, just like David Ford gets. We could have 4 guys, PGA Tour U graduates, and all kind of in different stages. You have David Ford, who won PGA Tour U. He's going right to the PGA Tour. That's the conventional. You have Luke Clinton, who's a junior, who got PGA Tour U accelerated. You would have Jackson Coyven, who's a sophomore, PGA Tour accelerated. Those 2 guys would be going straight away. And then Gordon Sargent already deferred it a year the same way that Jackson Coyven says he's going to, but he's a senior, so he's going straight to the PGA Tour. He's going straight to the PGA Tour is not one of the top 500 players in college golf. It's a very unique situation with Gordon Sargent. I mean, for Vanderbilt to travel to nationals without Gordon Sargent, that's a big statement, right? That's a lack of confidence in where he is right now. All right. We've got Matty Schmid. Ben Griffin's already 2-putted the 10th. We've got Matty Schmid from 50-something feet also. That trickled out. Oh, and he backed off. Wind is starting to kick up a little bit. Wind is absolutely starting to kick up a little bit. Long putter, really close to his chest. Don't love that, man. It's just so lame. It's nothing against Matty Schmid. Whenever I see a long putter and it's that close to someone's chest, it's just not the spirit of the rule. It's not what they changed the anchoring rule for guys to put it right here. Want to just make a rule where you have a max putter length and it's 40 inches or whatever it is. I don't think arm lock should be allowed either. I think they made a rule you shouldn't be able to. I mean, because arm lock is basically anchoring it just to the inside of your forearm. So I don't blame the players. They're going to do what they got to do to play their best, but I am not a fan of the long putter. Ricky for birdie, that's tracking. That falls. Okay, Ricky Fowler back to 8 under. He moves into a tie for 5th with Aldred Pocketer and Harry Hall back onto the first page of the leaderboard. All right, Rick, and I was wrong. 10 is not the par 5. 11 is the par 5. So chance for Ricky to throw things out there. Aim point, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, some guys have said that they want to. Sorry, Charlie asked for thoughts on aim point. I just don't see a way to really. I guess the only way you would get rid of it would be to outlaw straddling the line, like not being able to stand over a putt with 1 foot on one side and the left foot on the other side. I just think guys have been reading putts with their feet forever. As long as they're doing it, as long as they're doing it quickly and not causing an undue delay, and as long as they're not stomping all around the hole, I think you got to leave it up to the players as sort of an honor thing. But I don't think you can outlaw aim point. I don't use it. I don't know how to use it, to be fair. But Matty Schmid for par with that putter just too close to his chest for comfort. Again, I'm not saying he's anchoring it. It's just every time I see it, I'm just reminded of it's a loophole. It's the definition of a loophole. How worried do you think Scotty is since Ryan Fox got his first win on tour? I think Nat Sharp. I think he's very scared. I think when Scotty Scheffler wakes up in the morning, the first thing that he thinks about is Ryan Fox. Just not a guy you want to see chasing you when you've got the lead on Sunday. Bud Colley's played a lovely approach into 12 from the rough, got it to the correct tier. Really good stuff from the right rough on 12 from Bud Colley. Here's our man Scotty. For Eagle, this would put a charge into the tournament if this could fall. Sort of a half worm cam here. We're going to see the way it breaks. Looks like it's going to break right the whole way. I don't know if that's going to get there. Oh, its tracking just didn't get there. Right in the heart of the cup. But that's a birdie for Scotty. He gets the 8 under. Now he's in a tie for 5th. Feels like he's sort of sleepwalking through this week, but he's in a tie for 5th. We got Tommy Fleetwood on the tee on the par 3 13th. Sawed off finish. His signature, it's cutting toward the hole. Got a bad bounce off a downslope, but is that going to get better? Oh, that's going to ride the slope. That's really good from Tommy. What kind of green there is crazy. It must be like this. Leaves it right below the hole, about 10 feet. Good stuff from Tommy Fleetwood there. But this is all on sort of Ben Griffin and Matty Schmid. These two guys, if they shoot a couple under, they're going to make someone do something really special. Ben Griffin trying not to acknowledge the camera right under his nose. You could see him there with the aviators. I couldn't see where his eyes were looking, but he looked like he kind of glanced down. He's like, hey. I asked Griffin when he was on the show. Him and Novak were on the show together after they won Zurich, and I said, "Does this feel like you've got your first win behind you? Right? Does this because it's obviously you won a PGA Tour event, and that's massive." And he explained to me all the implications that come with that as far as like vesting. He and Novak both guarantee that they're going to keep their card 5 years in a row now because of what they've already accomplished, and that allows they now get paid out in their pension every time they make a cut. So it's a different they put them in a different category. So it's still winning on the PGA Tour is still a massive deal. It's still winning on the PGA Tour, but you did sort of have to work, and that's being generous. If it was 50-50, it's have to work. It's definitely a different feeling when you don't have someone to talk to or someone to sort of bail you out when you're going down the stretch. So, I would be interested in what he's feeling right now. If it feels like the first time, or if it feels like the first time, or if it feels like riding a bike, or it probably feels somewhere in the middle, as is usually the case in life. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. There's got to be some other sports going on. I might get something going on the second. I might get something going on the second screen here just so I can watch. We've got hockey. Oh, the Knicks game starts in about an hour and 20 minutes. So it would be Dallas against Edmonton. I'm not that big of a sports fan. Happy repossession. We're in a commercial break. On Memorial Day weekend, another golf psycho thing to put on Dan's resume. What, that I'm doing the stream on Memorial Day weekend? I don't think you guys understand. I would be exactly here doing the exact same thing without the stream. So this is, I mean, we had a couple talks, we had a couple chats behind the scenes about whether we were going to do the watch along today. It was never a doubt in my mind. There's never a doubt in my mind that we were going to do the watch along. I'm going to do the watch along every single week that they will allow me to, because we're building a community here, and you guys are on the the ground floor of the community that we're building here, and I'll never forget it. Eventually, we're going to have a huge community that comes to watch and enjoy these tournaments together, and you guys will be able to say that you were here from the very beginning. And Ben Griffin is just still standing on that tee. We're in threesomes today. So the pace is going to be the threesome pace. You know, I think there's probably very few people who have watched more PGA Tour golf than I have. This year especially, since we've been doing Dan on Golf. Every single weekend, we're locked in here for hours on Sunday. And I can say that, you know, and they just finished the testing for the rangefinders. There was 4 weeks, I think, rangefinders where they were allowed to use rangefinders on tour. Didn't notice a single difference. Definitely didn't slow things down. It was probably a little bit more convenient, but I think quite clearly the biggest impact on pace of play is twosomes versus threesomes. We're doing a moment of silence here for our veterans. I'm going to join in on the moment of silence. Hats are off. Important to remember why we're able to have this amazing country where I'm not following the moment of silence. I'll come back after the moment of silence. Ben Griffin, not a fan of loud noises during the flyover. Okay, moment of silence. We're back to the moment of silence. These planes are rad. I love America. Back to the moment of silence. Moment of silence. All right, we're back. I was going to say, it's important to remember, you know, the people who defend our country so that we can stream us watching PGA Tour events on the weekend. I failed very much failed on that moment of silence, guys. That's on me. I'll be better next time. It is tough to do a moment of silence on a stream where people are you know, you're supposed to talk. That's sort of the number one rule of these streams is just talk. And you know, when that tool was taken away from me, I felt a little bit uncomfortable there. I didn't really know what to do with my hands. Didn't really know what to do with my eyes. And so I ended up just talking the whole time. A little bit of an awkward time. I mean, it was a long wait on that tee for these guys on 11, the par 5. We've got Matty Schmid up first off of his back-to-back birdies on 8 and 9. Solid 2-putt par on 10. Really good 2-putts from both those guys. Another Colonial tee shot. Trees left, trees right, rough left, rough right, bunker left. You hit it in the fairway, you're playing under par. You see the scoring averages. You miss the fairway, it's playing over par. Absolutely nothing fancy about this place, and that is straighter than train smoke. Except for maybe it's too far left. Yeah. Looks like I caught the bunker from Schmid. It was a beautiful flight. I guess he was playing a cut. Looks like it's probably toward the front end of the bunker too, so he probably will not be able to get that one to the green. Konnichiwa, says Japan D. Jones. Konnichiwa, right back to you. Ben Griffin and his violent swing are on the tee on 11. He's going to go after this one. Watch what I'm talking about with sort of hit through the zone. Oh yeah, he went after that one and it is 4 right. 4 right. That thing is moving to the right. That's in the trees, in the long rough. That volunteer's got an eye on it. He will not be beat to that golf ball. You can walk, buddy. There's no one over there. You'll be okay. It's probably hot. He wants his barbecue later. I'm not having a barbecue later. My in-laws are in town. In-laws and my parents all coming to my house for the barbecue. Whew. Should be a movie. All right, Bud Colley for birdie on 12. Oh, it just sneaks by on the left side. That was perfect pace from Bud Colley. That would have seen him tie Matty Schmid. PS36 says he needs a Tommy Miracle on the back nine. A miracle is exactly what you need, but he's got a really good look for birdie on 13, so hopefully he can start there. Schmid's still putting lights out. What putter is he using? I don't know if you're trolling me. Yes, he's putting lights out. Yes, he's using a bullshit putter. It's not his fault that the rule that they left such a glaring loophole in the rule, but I'm not a fan of the long putter. He's using the long putter. It's not anchored. There's a little bit of space. What handicap you got? I actually played golf for the first time in 3 weeks on Friday and shot 75. So something's never changed. It's right around, my index is right around 0. Scotty left side missed the fairway. Was surprised. I mean, sort of surprised that Scotty played this week. I guess I shouldn't be, just knowing who he is. You know, he played Dallas a couple weeks before, then skipped a signature event, and he's playing Dallas the week after the major. It's not, no one else in his caliber is playing that schedule, but that's Scotty. He doesn't give a crap. He's like, oh, it's in my backyard. Why would I not play? All right. Tommy for birdie on 13, and he's missed it. He has missed it. So he bogeyed the par 5, failed to make the birdie after a really good approach shot into the par 3 13th, and his chances are dwindling. He's in solo 4th. Senior PGA is a good finish as well. Good shout. That's what I'm going to put on the second screen. There you are, Aussie golfer. An Aussie golfer is absolutely one of our original OG golf sickos here. I'm thinking about making an OG golf sicko hat and just sending it to you guys. No money involved here. Just a thank you to the OGs who are helping get this community off the ground. And Aussie golfer will absolutely be receiving one of those. Where is the final round of the Senior PGA? Come on, Max Fly for the tour win. Yeah, they already got one. They already got one with Ben Griffin, and they were using his ball instead of Novak's ball for most of the day. I need to get this Senior PGA on. So just sometimes I absolutely adore YouTube TV. Other times it requires a lot more action than a lot more attention than I'm trying to give. Let's see. I want to get to this. What channel is Oh, Senior PGA Congressional. Boom, got it. All right, we're locked in. We're doing a little Senior PGA watch along too, and they're on the 10th. They moved that green on the 10th to the other side of the lake. We got Paurig up there. We got Angel Cabrera trying to win another major. Wasn't there a major last week? Wasn't the Regents tradition? They go back-to-back major weeks. I used to play Max Fly Revolution and Elite in high school. Great balls, such Japandy Jones. Yeah, Max Fly, Wilson. These used to be blue chip golf companies. Shows that everything can change. We got Angel to tie Paurig. Oh, we are locked in on the Senior PGA. What a huge boost to the stream with the yellow ball. Angel Cabrera misses it on the right side. We got Ben Griffin. Ended up in actually a pretty good spot for Griffin. That looked like it was way further right. This will be a layup. He hacks it out of the rough down the left side of the fairway. It's got to sit a little. It rolls into the first cut of the rough, and Harrington makes a birdie to get 2 ahead over in the Senior PGA. We're getting double updates here because I got 2 golf tournaments that I'm watching. We got Paurig Harrington with a 2-shot lead over Angel Cabrera. 2006, 2007, we are back inside of you. And we got Ben Griffin with a 2-shot lead over Matty Schmid and Bud Colley. Retief Goosen, Stuart Sink, Thomas Bjorn, who does a lot of commentary. I was hanging out with him at the Truist. All right, Schmid did find the bunker on the left side of 11, and he's toward the front half of it. So this will just be, probably not more than a 9-iron or an 8-iron. You got to get it over. That lip is pretty severe. safely out from Matty Schmid. That's just an all-time tour sauce move, is when you hit a good shot out of the bunker and do a little wipe your feet marks off. That's when you know it was a good one. They're not watching it come down. Scotty's in the bunker on 12 after that birdie on 11. 149 yards. Choked up quite a bit on it. It came out super high and catches the right side of the green. Will it stay there? It does. It does. This is crazy that we have a tournament, says Joseph Boza, who's another OG member. At one point, I thought Ben put it away. I'll be back in Australia in 2 weeks, not playing the Sandbelts. Grew up on them, says Aussie golfer. Our boy Zane, who's been on the stream before, he went back to Australia this week. I believe he's there. He's playing golf in the Sydney area this week. So shout out to Zane. Robert Carlson, another name that I remember being in the mix at Augusta around 2010 quite frequently. Missed it. A couple missed putts I'm seeing already on the senior PGA. Bit of a dress rehearsal. The PGA Championship's going back to Congressional. Couple years? 27, 28, 29. 26 is a Runnemink. Then I think they go to PGA Frisco. Olympic Club. Key was in there. And then Congressional. Another one of these courses that they've sort of clawed back from the USGA, like Bethpage Black, like Baltusrol. I feel like these courses sort of go through, stretches where they're a USGA course. I think Riviera has had PGAs in the past. They're now kind of in the USGA section. US Amateur, US Open coming to Riviera in 2031. Congressional was a USGA. I mean, they had Rory won it there. I don't think they got another US Open after Rory won, because it was like 16. He was a million under. It was super wet that week. Super, super wet that week. We're at the point where there is almost a major every week. Next week, the ladies have their US Open at Erin Hills. Yeah, well, we have 3 tours that have majors. We've got the men, the seniors, and the ladies. So, and the ladies have 5 majors, and I think the seniors have 5 majors. So that's 5, 10, and 4 for the men. It's 14 weeks. They start in April. They're done by August. How many weeks are there between April and August? April, May, June, July, August. 5, 7, 5. Yeah, there's going to be a major more weeks than there's not a major. I mean, the U.S. Open's already, the U.S. Opens are already on the radar. We had the PGA last week, and then next week most guys will be making their last start before the PGA. So they switched to this sort of, almost Triple Crown like structure, even though my horse racing friends tell me that the Triple Crown is broken. The horses that race in the Derby don't even race in the Preakness. Or the ones that win, they never do. Cabrera's into the fairway on 11. Ricky on sponsors exemption, not this week. But I believe he got one for next week. Let's see. Memorial Tournament sponsor exemptions. Yep. Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler, Matt Kuchar, and Brant Snedeker. So a couple Workday guys in there. I believe it is the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. So Matt Kuchar and Brant Snedeker, Workday guys. Workday says, here's the money for the tournament. We're going to get our guys into this tournament. How does that sound? And PGA Tour says, okay. And then with Spieth and Ricky, 2 big Pro-Am tee times. And 2 big draws, to be fair. And they haven't, it's like they're pissing all over themselves this year. We've done some good things. Speaking of Ricky, we got him on 11. Found the fairway. He was the only one in the final group to find the fairway. Those other guys had to lay up. 297, full on 3-wood. That is so far right, guys. I can't even tell you how far right it is. That's got to be out of bounds. That ball was so far right. I think you give him an hour and a half, and half the people on the property, and you're not finding it. So right when I said that Ricky's not pissing down his leg, that is exactly what he did there on that second shot. I mean, that thing, let's see if we can see the slow-mo, how open that club face was. Nah. That's what's so cruel about this game. You can slow it down, and it looks, from that angle, it looked okay. Ricky needs a good week, says Joseph Boza. He entered 99th in FedEx. Absolutely. Only top 100 this year. Let's not forget. Forever, it was 125 was the magic number. That is down to top 100 this year. So there's two really important numbers. There's, 70 makes the playoffs, or there's three. 70 makes the playoffs. 50 gets into the signature events for next year, and 100 keeps your tour card. Ben Griffin from the left, first cut on 11 on the par 5. Lands on the very front edge and is sort of trickling toward the middle of the green. That's a good, smart shot. I don't think he could really access that pin from the rough. Probably took all the spin off it. The greens look like they're firming up. All right, we got Bud Colley. We know this green slopes big time back to front. So if you can cut one in there, land it just left of the green, left of the pin, it should get better. That looks like a good line from Bud Colley. It comes up way short. I mean, club and a half short. That must have been a mishit. Maybe off the toe, maybe a little bit fat, because that was cutting toward the pin and was not even close. There's Jordan Spieth. Speaking of sponsors invites for next week. Can't see the hole because we don't have a worm cam. He's putting to his face, and we don't see it. He's going to finish the week in 35th-ish, 36, T36 for Jordan Spieth, 69.71, 67.71, just a middle-of-the-road week. There's so many of those weeks, and we never hear about them if they're not Jordan Spieth. Just right around par every day. Here's Scotty on 12 for birdie. Speed is good. It's a little bit left of the hole. That should be a par. Looks like Scotty's going to finish in the top 10, which is not a surprise at all. I wonder what his odds going into the week were like plus 250. I wonder what they were to finish in the top 10. Probably minus money, I would think. All right, Matty Schmidt, he is from the fairway, so should be able to bring it in higher and control the spin. This could be a little bit closer than Ben Griffin's. It lands just left of his, and it's going to be outside Ben Griffin's, right to the center of the green. I think this is a golf course where you can't really get aggressive. I think it tests your patience because it's visually not that intimidating. It's pretty damn flat. There's not a whole lot of crazy hazards. You just got to be really patient because I think if you get aggressive and get on the wrong side of the hole, get short-sided with the rough, you can be in serious trouble. And those greens are really firming up. And we just saw Tommy Fleetwood land a wedge pin high on 14, and that's a good 70 feet past the hole. Can Fleetwood win like his beloved Everton today? That is right. Everton beat Newcastle, and Man United did them a real solid. They're still in the Champions League because Man United beat Aston Villa. A little help from the refs. Andrew Novak, non-signature event killer for birdie on 12. He's got it to go up to a tie for 5th. And Andrew Novak is very much in Ryder Cup contention, guys. He is indeed. He's gesticulating to his caddy. There's a lot going through his head right now, but he's very much in the mix for one of those picks. Very much in the mix for one of those picks. I'm going to look at the Ryder Cup points list right now. I want to say he's like 7th or 8th. So we got Scotty, Xander, Bryson, top 3, JT, Morikawa, top 5. Those guys are like mortal locks, going to be there no matter what. Russell Henley, number 6, despite missing the cut in the first 2 majors of the year. Very bad. Very bad, Russell Henley. Very bad, especially because the narrative is what a consistent player that you are, but you've missed the cut in the first 2 majors of the year. And then Harris English, Maverick McNeely, Andrew Novak's 9th. So Harris English 7, 8 Maverick McNeely, 9 Andrew Novak, 10 Brian Harmon, 11 JJ Spawn, 12 Patrick Cantlay, 13 Daniel Berger, 14 Tony Finau, 15 Tom Hoagie, 16 Lucas Glover, 17 Keegan Bradley, 18 Ben Griffin, who would move up quite a bit with a win here. Wyndham Clark 19, and then Billy Horschel 20. He's out though with an injury, and Denny McCarthy number 21, who has been on my list the whole year. I want him on the team. I just really want him on the team. He's finished 8th last week at the PGA Championship. He's a grinder. I want him to be our sort of Ian Poulter. I want him to piss the crap out of people with how well he putts and chips. That's what I want. Why is the U.S. Open never in Texas? Probably because it's hot as hell. I don't know. Is that a reason? Mid-June? Colonial had a U.S. Open way back in the day. Yeah, I don't know why. Bud Colley actually went to the drop area, so that thing was 25 yards short. Man, I just caught a glimpse of Retief Goosen over there in the senior PGA. You want to talk about tempo? This guy still all-time flushes it. Just an all-time golf move, golf swing. because it's too hot and there aren't great courses in Texas. Laz is here. Laz announces his presence with a signature Laz bomb, just throwing grenades at Texas. Whatever happened to Preston Trail? Not Preston Trail. They're not gonna have US Open there. Whatever happened to the Core Crenshaw one in Texas? They had the Nelson there a couple years ago, and people complained it was like too easy. What was it? It's like it's a Core Crenshaw. It's in Texas. Oh my God, the name is escaping me. What is it? Trinity Forest. Trinity Forest. That's where it is. Yeah, I guess pros didn't really like it, but that's a course that the architecture people really like. But Core Crenshaw courses not really US Open tests. They're usually pretty wide off the tee. Big on hill on 11, playing a high sweep and draw that is going to find the water short for on hill. Did Pari just get another bit of a cushion? How many live players will be at Bethpage? Bryson, Rahm, Hatton, McKibben. It's an interesting question, Justin Holland. I mean, from the American side, I think Bryson's the only one as of right now. I mean, Brooks not doing anything this year. He did win the major last time it was at Bethpage, and he is Brooks Koepka, so he probably has the second best chance of the Americans. But I'm thinking about like Dustin Johnson is not going to make it. Matt Wolff is not going to make it. Let's see what the live standings are. I mean, a guy like Taylor Gooch is not going to make it. Live Golf 2025 standings. So the highest ranked American is Bryson at number 2. The next highest ranked American is Brooks Koepka at number 12. The next highest ranked American after that is Patrick Reed at 14. I think he'd have to make it on points. There's a lot of baggage there. The next highest American after that is Phil Mickelson, who had a couple strong tournaments in the beginning of the year, but has missed the cut in the first 2 majors, and it's not happening. Then it's Taylor Gooch, Harold Varner, and those are the only ones. Those are the only Americans in the top 24 in the safe zone. After that, Dustin Johnson, Bubba Watson, Matt Wolff. That's kind of amazing that there's really no Americans besides Bryson who are playing worth a damn on Live Golf. If we're keeping it real, pros and spectators and sponsors didn't like Trinity because of the neighborhood it's in, says Laz. That's why we have Laz around for. He's given us, geopolitical commentary to sort of fill in the gaps on our questions about the golf course. Matty Schmid and that long putter just left it about 8 feet short on 11. No bueno there. And that Ben Griffin will have gotten a very good look at that. Looks like it's fast past the hole, and that scared him. That scared him big time. Tommy from the way back on 14 after that wedge shot from the rough had no chance of stopping. That's got to get going. That was a pretty similar putt to Matty Schmid's, about 8 feet short. So Fleetwood's been pretty uninspiring since we came on. Bogeyed the par 5, 11th. Missed a good look at birdie on 13, and he's got his work cut out for him to save par on 14. We've got Bob McIntyre from the right rough. Speaking of Ryder Cup, I think he's going to be there. Oh, beautiful shot that just skirted that front bunker and is crawling toward the hole. Attaboy, Bobby Mack. Pushing for a top 10. Yeah, I mean, Brooks is sort of is the interesting question when it comes to live in the Ryder Cup. Ben Griffin did much better with his speed than Matty Schmid. That'll be a par for Ben Griffin. He'll stay at 14 under after 11. It would seem like such a natural fit for Brooks because of where it is, and because he's just he's a bit of a foxhole guy. Like he's a guy that having him on the and Bud Colley unable to save bogey, so he's gonna make it double. So Ben Griffin is once again 5 clear of third. But he's just not doing enough in the majors. Or, I mean, he's doing okay on live, but his last, I'm going to read you his last, okay, so he wins, he finishes second in the Masters in 2023, wins the PGA Championship, and then he finished 17th, 2023 US Open. Since then, in the majors, and we have 7 starts. T64 in the Open 2023, 2024 Masters T45, 2024 PGA T26, 2024 US Open T26, 2024 the Open T43, 2025 Masters missed cut, 2025 PGA missed cut. So does he get the faith pick for being Brooks Koepka because of what he's done in the Masters? Matty Schmid makes a birdie, and that was a great couple minutes there for Ben Griffin. A great couple minutes there for Ben Griffin. Schmid 3 putts, par 5 from the middle of the fairway. Ricky hits it Lord knows where. Schmid is going to make a bogey. So Griffin's lead goes from 2 and 3 to third to 3 and 5 over third. We've got Ricky putting to save a bogey with that lab putter. And it does not go in. It does not go in. So Ricky Fowler makes a double bogey 7 on the 11th. And it's good to be Ben Griffin right now. We got Tommy. He's got that same sort of putting grip that Scotty has in the short ones. Both work with Phil Kenyon. He got it to go. Okay, Tommy. All right, you're third, Tommy. Make a couple birdies, buddy. Get it to 12 under. You got a chance. You're still alive. You're very much still alive. Matty Schmid still not in, actually. Putting for bogey. Okay, it's in. So we got Griffin at 14 under, Schmid at 11 under, Fleetwood and Bud Cauley at 9 under. Matty Schmid. There was Matty Schmid and there was Matthias Schwab for a little while. I think Schwab went to Vanderbilt. It's crazy how paying attention to college golf, I just view everything through the lens of college golf right now. Could you ever see Wesley Bryan joining LIV as either a wild card or joining a team with Rahm due to his friendship? Yeah. Yes, I absolutely could see Wesley going to LIV. He's suspended from the PGA Tour. He's an absolutely massive draw. The next LIV Duels event is going to be on the Brian Bros channel. So it's not just that he's playing, he's hosting it on his channel, him and George. They gave Anthony Kim a spot, right? There's no rules on LIV. They can bring in whoever they want, and they'd let him probably film every, I absolutely could see it. I absolutely could see Wesley Bryan going to LIV. 100%. It would be, in some ways it would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? I mean, he says that he doesn't want to play all that much. I think he enjoys the content creation aspect of it just as much, and a place like LIV where he wouldn't have to necessarily worry as much about where he is in the points and what events he's getting into. He would have a set schedule. I actually think that Wesley Bryan to LIV Golf would make sense. I never really thought about it until you said that, but there's obviously a relationship there. I mean, playing in the duels, and then that's what surprised me about this most recent duels announcement was that it's going to be on the Brian Bros channel. So, I don't know if you would have to think that he would know that that's going to come with some repercussions, but he's already suspended. And because he entered the year in that plus, 125 plus category, the more weeks he's suspended, those other guys are playing. He doesn't get to get more starts on the back end to try and earn his points. I think it makes sense. I really had never thought about Wesley Bryan going to LIV as a full-time player. But it makes sense. Whether he's on a team or he's an individual, it would be a positive PR move for LIV, kind of an FU, like, oh, the PGA Tour has this kind of this guy who's very unique in that he toes the line between being a player and a content creator, but he's suspended from the tour, and we're in the eyeballs business. They need to grow their audience, LIV big time. Yeah, I could absolutely see it happening. Ben Griffin's tee shot on 12 skirts the bunker and gets a big hop into the fairway. And Angel's ball stayed up, and he actually made birdie. So Angel's only one back of Padraig Harrington. Can you guys get that on your second screen if you have the capabilities? I've got just as much interest in Angel versus Parig as I do against as I do in the PGA Tour event. I really do. Angel's trying to win another major. From the from with something about these guys who spend time in jail. Obviously, a little bit of a different scenario. Scotty Scheffler versus Angel Cabrera. Well, don't get it twisted. It's not apples to apples. But the PGA, the PGA Championship, the PGA of America could be handing trophies back-to-back weeks to guys who have spent a night in the Slammer. Matty Schmidt on 12. It's almost in exactly the same tee shot as Ben Griffin. That skirts the bunker as well and finds the fairway and dodges all those divots. Last Texas US Open was in 1969. That's kind of amazing. Scheffler hitting a cut in there to that back right pin. That's going to get really good, I think. That's going to get really, really, really good. Ooh, that's going to get really good from Scotty. Sit down. Bite there. Yep. Pretty similar spot to where Fleetwood was. Scotty Scheffler's hit it to about, we'll call it 12 feet. No, less. I'm officially calling it less. I'm calling it 9 feet. Let's see. Scheffler. 8 feet 3 inches. Let's see. Let's do a little Danny Tourcast. Yeah, you can see how severe that is. It's just an uphill right to left putt. That's what dreams are made of. Retief Goosen lurking. Soren Kjeldsen lurking. Stuart Sink lurking. I believe that's Jason Caron, who was a club pro for a long time. Cameron Percy. Thomas Bjorn. A lot of victories over there on that leaderboard. I'm hoping to see Tiger in these senior majors next season and beyond. Imagine Tiger Woods playing right now in this leaderboard with Padraig Harrington and Angel Cabrera, and the senior tour would absolutely outdraw the PGA Tour on a week like this. I really believe that. If you had Tiger in the mix, and he could absolutely be in the mix. Tiger's biggest issue is walking a golf course. You can take a cart. Actually, I don't know if you can take a cart in the majors. You could definitely take a cart in the normal events. I would love to see it. Phil played a couple senior majors right when he turned 50, or senior events, won a couple of them immediately, and then faded, and then went away, and he went to live, so he wasn't going to continue to play on the Champions Tour, even though there are a fair number of live guys, Richard Bland, Lee Westwood, playing this week, but Tiger would just put such a charge into the senior tour. It's hard to even imagine. Does Liam Delap sign for Man United or Everton this summer? Finally, silly season and major season. I think Liam Delap signs for Man United unless we get Gyökeres. I think it's pretty simple. I would prefer Gyökeres. I think everyone would. He's going to be more expensive. Anyone but Rasmus. That's what I'll say. Senior PGA is going to be a great finish. Bird droppings are a loose impediment. I'm watching on mute, but it sure sounds like there was some bird shit in front of Padraig Harrington's ball. Hey, can someone help me here? A bird's defecated. I can move that, right? Yes, you can. Showing yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about with Ben Griffin, where it looks like all the momentum's going into the ball. He's on his toes, almost like Justin Thomas at impact, whereas Matty Schmid's on that left heel. You can see that's actually a really good picture. You can see how much more on his toes Ben Griffin is than Schmid. More than one way to do it. Padraig Harrington is putting for birdie on 14. Looks like a decent crowd over there at the senior PGA. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the senior PGA. And he gets it to go. What a long putt with a fist pump from Padraig Harrington. Okay, Padraig. Notice I don't say a D there. That's the correct pronunciation. Padraig. Birdied 11, 12, and 14 for Padraig Harrington. He's got a 2-shot lead over Angel. All right, Bud Cauley coming off the double on 13. He's found the fairway on 14. Looks like it's on a good line, but that's what I said about the last one. It is on a good line, and it crawls up, stays on that tier. He'll have about 15 feet. I'm looking forward to the Scotty putt. I want Scotty to get to 11 under just to make us feel something. Just to make us feel something, Scotty. How good does Congressional look, by the way? I like how they've, like, you look at that left side of 12. I like how they've kept some trees just enough to where it, like, actually is an issue, but it doesn't need to be so wooded that there's, like, the grass doesn't grow well. I actually played Congressional since Cerrito and really enjoyed it. Ricky Fowler from the fairway on 12. That just lands on the front edge and is well short. Our boy Andrew Novak chasing the Ryder Cup. He's on 13, playing a little down the slope flop shot. He's playing with Scotty. And that runs a little bit past. He'll get a look off Scotty. All right, Schmid from the fairway on 12. Right in the middle of the fairway. Scotty missed the putt. And that's the problem with Tourcast. We're going to go back to our leaders because I don't like when that happens. I really don't like when that happens. Pretend you guys didn't see that. Oh, there's a dart from Matty Schmid. Okay, hits it to about 3.5 feet on 12. He's not going down quietly. What a look back from the tee on 15 at Congressional. This course looks sick on TV. Ooh, big time left ball from Parig. And there's the Scotty miss that we already knew happened. There's the Scotty miss that we already knew happened. I'm excited. The Congressional's getting me excited for whenever they have the PGA next. This course, I mean, I'd much rather. It looks, no disrespect to Quill Hollow, great PGA Tour venue, but I'm going to leave it at that, great PGA Tour venue. Ben Griffin from 113, even closer than Matty Schmid, and it's a very similar shot, just a little bit further away. That's about 6-7 feet for Ben Griffin. He answers Matty Schmid on the 12th. Looking like business. Can't see the shades. The eyes stay behind the shades. Eyes behind shades. My necklace be the reason that all of these first dates are blind dates. Something like that. That's the Jay-Z lyric. Laz says Harrington's wedge lineup, pitching wedge 52, 58, 64, so aggressive. He doesn't need the distance. So I with all the loft, I mean, he's like the longest player out there. So having a lot of variety at the sort of bottom of the bag makes sense. Getting a nice blimp look. Nice to see the blimp still up in the sky. I saw it last week at Quail Hollow. I couldn't believe that it still exists. You'd think that the drones, sort of like a taxi versus an Uber situation. Speaking of which, here in Los Angeles, I don't know what's happened in the last month, really the last 2 weeks, but Waymos, these driverless cars, these Ubers, are everywhere. I don't know if they got more permits. I don't know if they, they prove something about their safety, but I have been seeing them absolutely everywhere this week, these driverless cars. It used to be like, whoa, there's no human in that car. Now it's everywhere. Angel missed the putt on 12. He's got his hands to this. Angel, just be happy you're playing, my friend. Waymo is already verb west of the 405. Already a verb west of the 405. Yeah, it is. And I completely see why. You Waymo somewhere. I I'm getting ready to try it. I haven't done it yet. It's been just haven't thought about it. When I get an Uber, I think I'm gonna download the Waymo app. I don't know if I could take it to the airport. I don't think that they're allowed on the freeways yet. But over here, like where I live, they're everywhere. Probably a little slower too, I would think, just because they're super different. Like I've noticed, I've paid a little bit of attention when you're driving next to one, because it's a city street, right? It's like there's going to be merging, and people kind of pop up out of gas stations and stuff. It's a city, and they're super deferential. There's no human there. There's no ego. And they're not in a rush to get anywhere. So yeah, they're just super deferential. Why are there so few tournaments in Georgia, Masters notwithstanding, says Justin Holland? We can't have tournaments every state every week. There's a lot in California. There's a lot in Florida. Those are two really big golf states. Other than that, I mean, they got the Masters and the Tour Championship. Georgia does. I don't think they're like exactly lacking. All right, Andrew Novak for par on 13, right in the middle. You expected that one to go in after seeing Scotty. So Novak stays at 8 under. He's still in the top 5. Tie for 5th with Mr. Scotty Scheffler. Just a quick, it's got to be awesome to be Andrew Novak now. You're so long. You're worried about, am I keeping my card? What am I doing? Now you've got a win on your belt. You played with the Ryder Cup captain last week. You're playing with Scotty in the final round of a tournament this week. You've just elevated your career. All right, Ben Griffin for birdie on 12. Let's do a quick little read here. He's putting from behind it. It's going to be downhill and a little bit right to left. Wormcam is back. I missed you, Wormcam. He's got this aim that looks like left side of the hole. Is that going to break left? It broke right across the hole. You can see that's an interesting putt. It looks like it's going, if you hit it right, it's going left. If you hit it left, it almost looks like it comes back. So Ben Griffin misses it. He's in for par. So Matty Schmid's got a putt to close the gap to just 2. Looked like he hit it right on his line. It was interesting. Tourcast, I don't know. I'm not going to say Tourcast lied, but let's see if we can get his boy here. Let's see. We want Schmid on. And we want to see Schmid's putt. Green. Schmid. He'll have gotten a good look at that. You got to just play this dead straight, I would think. Yeah, you got to just play it dead straight. I hope they get that same worm cam. Oh, there's Carl Phillips. Totally forgot the Tour Championship, says Justin Holland. Can't forget it. Sounds like there's going to be changes. I'm hearing some murmurs that that the changes to the Tour Championship are going to be announced very soon. Kind of almost like NCAAs, where they kind of knock out guys during each stretch. No match play, but less players after the different rounds. And Matty Schmid has found the bottom of the cup for a birdie. He's to 12 under, and we're kind of right back where we started about 2 hours ago. We got Ben Griffin at 14 under, Matty Schmid at 12 under, Tommy Fleetwood, Bud Cauley at 9 under, Scotty Scheffler at 8 under with Andrew Novak. We got Bud Cauley trying to get into double digits on 14. He's putting up the slope. That's going to miss on the right side. Play it dead straight and more anchor to make the putt, says Tucker Jensen. My boy Bush, Alex Bush, who's my new producer. Everyone say hello to Alex Bush if you're here. You're going to be hearing his name a lot. We worked together for a while at Barstool. I'm super, super stoked that he's joined. We did a little clip of me talking about the long putter on Instagram. I'm sure there won't be any takes about that. People won't be angry about that. They won't call me a loser and all that stuff. I'm worrying about the TV side with the changes if they go through, says Joseph Boza. Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's why they made the changes that they did initially to, for sponsors to keep everyone playing. But I just think last year was just so flat. It was just so flat, right? And the tournament either has to be really exciting in and of itself or super fair as far as crowning a season-long champion. And as of right now, it does nothing. It's not exciting in itself, and it's not super fair. Whereas, if a guy has one bad round, he doesn't, he's not going to win the FedEx Cup. So I think they've got to make it the week itself more entertaining. It's the end of the year. It's their last, they basically sign off, especially with the changes now. There's no FedEx Cup golf between, last week of August and January. They've got to go out with more of a bang. Another good addition in Alex says Tucker Jensen. I completely agree. Alex is the man. The thing was, Scotty dominated last year. The 10-shot lead was irrelevant. The Tour Championship suffered when FedEx wanted one winner. Yeah, I sort of agree with that. I mean, I've said that they should just have fun with that week, and I think they should crown the winner at the end of the regular season, or at the end of the play, or at the end of the second play. Like, it's just you can't do it both. I mean, today is a good example in the Premier League, right? The Premier League is sort of similar in that, it's a season-long competition, and sometimes the last day is just going to be a bit of a dud because it's basically locked up by the time you get to the final day. That's just something, if a season-long competition, the end is, often not going to be, they're just in the middle right now. They're in the middle where it's not super entertaining. It doesn't feel like its own playoffs. It's just a weird combination. Tommy Fleetwood misses another putt on 15 for par. I'm officially retiring Tommy Fleetwood's chances. We're going to change the Chiron. We are going to change the Chiron because Tommy Fleetwood doesn't deserve a place on there anymore. All right, we're going to new Chiron here. Griffin versus Schmid. Parig versus Angel. Bang. I feel like it's a more accurate representation of what we're looking at right now. Tommy is not, he's just not earned it. You got to earn a spot on the Chiron. Tournaments are basically lined up too. The leaders are through 12 on both, so we'll get the final action on both. It's good stuff. Oh, look, you guys can sort of see the shot. That's a nice touch. We're allowed to show this, actually, by the way. Anything that's like publicly available on the internet, we can show. So maybe eventually we'll figure out a way to have like Tourcast to have basically that. To have this, like, that would be cool if I just automatically popped up here. It'd be kind of hard to. The tech guys are probably rolling their eyes at me, but guy can dream. The UCL race was the only interesting part today of the Premier League season. Here's a thought, says Liza Rosales. Tournament of Champions at the end of the year, except that the big 4 weeks are majors, then the players is obviously special, and the Ryder Cup is what it is. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. Hawaii at the end of the year. That sounds, I don't know if you're thinking about keeping it Hawaii, but yeah, both will finish regulation by 6 p.m. Eastern. They've got to hustle if they're going to do that. The threesomes, the threesomes pace is just tough. The big boys want to shut it down because they don't want to play in the fall, says Joseph Boza. They don't want the rank file to gain points in the fall, which I understand. I think an off season, in some respects, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I do kind of believe that. And yeah, these guys, they just don't want to play all year, which is fine. In football, you can stay out of the way in football. I like, selfishly, I like having the fall off. I mean, not off, but we're not going to do watch longs for the fall events. Maybe we will. Depends where we're at as a channel. I missed the PGA Grand Slam of Golf, says PS36. Yeah, so was that they used to play that in Bermuda or something like that, or the Caribbean, and it was the winners of the 4 majors. It's not the solution, but we need to get rid of the Tour Championship, Tucker Jensen. If we're cutting down on cards, make every player play every tournament, and the winner is the one with the most points. That's what they do. That's what they do with the Premier League, and that's kind of what I think they're trying to do with the signature events. But you're seeing guys starting to skip. That's okay. Like Scotty skipped the Truist, Rory's skipping the Memorial, which is surprising. I'm surprised about that. It's not the week before the U.S. Open this year. It's 2 weeks before. There's the Canadian Open in between. Are LIV players eligible for the President's Cup? No, they are not. President's Cup is wholly owned and operated by the PGA Tour. That is the difference between the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup is PGA of America, so they're eligible. I mean, Bryson's like third in the points. But no, President's Cup. I thought it would have been really cool if they did allow them to play as sort of an olive branch. The guys would play, 100%. They would play. Joaquin Niemann, Carlos Ortiz, Sebastian Munoz, Cameron Smith, Lucas Herbert. Those guys would play in the President's Cup. 1,000,000% they would. 1,000,000% they would. But, you know, some things are not bigger than golf. Or some things should be bigger than golf, but they're not bigger than the Battle of the Tours. That's what I should say. I missed the annual Skins game, says Justin Holland. That was peak entertainment. I've got good news for you, Justin Holland. I've got good news for you. We're working on something. We are working on something for the Skins game. Pro Shop. This came out. I'm not totally unauthorized to be talking about that. We have the rights to the Skins game, Pro Shop. And we are, you know what? I'm gonna look up what came out about this so I don't say anything that I'm not supposed to say. Okay, this came out in December of 2024. Pro Shop propagate content, partner with PGA Tour to relaunch the Skins game for a new generation. Okay, there it is. We're bringing the Skins game back. I know when the first one is going to be. That I don't think is public, so I'm not going to say it. But the Skins game is coming back thanks to Pro Shop, which is the company that owns Scratch and Dan on Golf and that I work for with my man Chad Mum. So yeah, Padraig made double, guys. Padraig made double on 15 after hitting it left in the water. So we got a tie ball game. We got a tie ball game in the senior PGA. Justin Holland says, "Don't you dare tease me." I didn't tease you. We're coming. The Skins game's coming back. Can I be more clear? When we have a golf course and we have a date and we have a players, that's also semi-important. You'll know. But the Skins game is coming back. Feels good to say. That. Yeah, Skins game, I mean, it was a little before my time, but I know it was like a staple. It was a staple part of golf. There's some awesome, like Shell's Wonderful World of Golf was another one that, you know, back in the day, they'd have these matches on these classic courses. There's an epic YouTube video that's like Sam Snead and someone else playing Pebble Beach. We have a tournament. We have two tournaments, guys. We've got the senior PGA. We've got Padraig versus Angel, and we've got Ben Griffin versus Matty Schmid. I'm waiting for my phone to blow up. What did you say about the Skins game? I basically read the release. The beloved made-for-TV tournament returns in 2025 on Black Friday. I should have read the headline. It's back on Black Friday. Black Friday this year will be a Skins game produced by Pro Shop, and that's Googleable on the internet. Scotty Scheffler pitching from the right side of 14. That'll be a tap in for Scotty. Angel off the tee on 14. We're switching back and forth, Ray Allen style. Senior PGA Championship. He's in the middle of the fairway on 14. Bud Colley on 15. They're coming. They're coming fast and heavy here. I'm gonna get some golf bags behind me. I think that's gonna make the set look nicer. Let's get Colin right here. Shane right there. Can you guys see those? Oh no, I gotta move it over. There we go. Now they're not centered. Whatever. You can see them or you can't. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now we're looking. Wow, this set's looking actually pretty good today, isn't it? I don't mind these solo watch-alongs. I really don't. For the 40-plus Cloud, Padraig's YouTube channel is so refreshing. Yeah, Padraig's the man. I want to do an on the bag with him. But he looks to be unraveling right now. That is going so far right. In some thick stuff again. I don't know if they're doing live odds on the Senior PGA Championship, but Angel Cabrera, this would be his third win since he got out of prison. And second major. Wow. That is wild. That classic Shell Wonderful World of Golf is Nicholas and Snead and 63 at Pebble. Thank you, Nick H. Agreed, Laz. Harrington YouTube is great. What does he do on there, guys? Is it mostly like instruction content as opposed? I mean, I doubt he's doing like Wheel of Not Ideal, full golf challenges. Matty Schmid on 13. We know this hole very well. You got to hit a cut in there. You got to ride the slope, and you got to take your 8 feet. He's cutting it in there. He's following the first directions. Is it the right number? We've seen these all end up about 8 feet short and right of the hole, and I've got no idea where that landed, and neither does the camera guy. Patty Harrington would be the best golf commentator if you wanted to be scarily intelligent and golf obsessed. Absolutely. I completely agree. I said this. I think the Irish accent and just like their overall affect makes them incredible candidates. I think Shane Lowry, when he finishes playing, would be a phenomenal commentator. Matty Schmid went into the grandstand? Where did that ball go? Does Tourcast know? Tourcast has no idea. Where did that end up, guys? Regent Tradition was his first senior PGA Tour win. That's not true, Joseph Boza. Didn't he won the week before the Masters? He won the week before the Masters. Very logical instruction, transparent, no smoke and mirrors. He's a savant. Yeah, he's won 3 majors. He's a Hall of Famer. Instruction on all aspects of the game. And that is a terrible spot for Ben Griffin. That's long. He's got that crazy ridge. It stayed up just above it. I think the best he could do there is 6 feet. Tourcast has located Matty Schmid's ball. I guess it's long next to this, so he's gonna have that same chip down the hill. Leaderboard at the Schwab. Here he is, Yenzen. We get one of these every week. Leaderboard at the Schwab illustrates what is wrong week to week with the PGA Tour. The big names on TV, or the big names don't play versus each other enough. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They'll be playing together next week at the Memorial. It's not going to happen every single week. Liv is off for a month right now. The events like these are a bonus. Events like these are a bonus. Next week, we had the Truist 2 weeks ago. We had the PGA last week. We have one non-signature event. Then we have a signature event next week. Then we have a National Open in Canada that's going to feel really big. And then we've got the U.S. Open right after that. And then guess what? We have a signature event, the Travelers, the week after that. They're not going to play every single week, Yenzen. They're not going to play every single week. And also, Scotty Scheffler's there, and Tommy Fleetwood's there, and Ricky Fowler's there, and Hideki Matsuyama's there, and Jordan Spieth is there. And sometimes they just don't win. That's golf. In the PGA, everyone was there, and the winner was Scotty Scheffler. But if you look at the guys who finished second, I mean, you had Bryson, who's a superstar, but then Davis Riley finished second, and Harris English finished second, and there's a lot of really, really good players. And just because good players start at even par doesn't mean that they're going to finish on the top of the leaderboard. I'm just so sick of that. I'm just so sick of that one, guys. It's not even me being like a PGA Tour homer. It's like there's never been a time when all the best players play against each other every single week. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. The NFL has 18 Sundays a year or 7, whatever it is. It's just never going to happen. I wish it would. Do I wish that there was a signature event every single week? Absolutely, I do. Ricky played sensibly short left on, what are they on, 13? God, they're crawling. There's no way they finished by 6. Sorry, reality makes you upset, says Yenzen. Okay. I'm glad you got your rise. You did a good job there. If the goal was troll, you have succeeded in your goal. Ben Griffin won the team event in New Orleans. Yes, I know this, but it wasn't his own ball. I mean, it was the Max Fly. It was his ball mostly, but it wasn't a solo win. So a little bit different. I'm going to look it up because I could have sworn that Angel won the week before the Masters. He's got 2 wins on PGA Tour Champions. Yeah. He won. This would be his 3rd win in the last 2 months. He beat KJ Choi to win the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. How can we forget? And he won the Regents Tradition over Jerry Kelly by 1 shot. Ben Griffin and Andrew Novak, they're showing them wearing the belts. I think they wore those out in New Orleans that night. They said they were going out to celebrate. You know, when you vest on the PGA Tour, you got to celebrate. When you get to start collecting those made checks. So Parig Parig is making a mess, guys. On 16, it's a par 5. He went way right with his tee shot. Then the club wrapped around the rough wrapped around his club. He's across the fairway. Scotty's found the bunker on 15 over at Colonial. But Harrington's unraveling a little bit. He's absolutely unraveling a little bit. Scotty Scheffler, last 3 years in the Colonial Charles Schwab Challenge, second, tied third, tied second. Bud Cauley on 15 for birdie. It's getting late for Bud Cauley, and it just slides by on the low side, ran out of speed. Feels like a two-horse race. Feels like a two-horse race between Ben Griffin and Matty Schmid. Thomas Bjorn's up to 7 under, my broadcaster friend. Helped me with my pack when I was getting ready for the Creator Classic a couple of weeks ago. Lovely guy. French guy. Tommy Fleetwood for birdie on 16. This is to get to 9 under. It's going to miss just right of the hole. Tommy Fleetwood's going to pick up his 274th PGA Tour top 10 without a victory. I'm exaggerating a little bit. Scotty backdoor top 3 at this tournament the last 3 years could absolutely be a 4th. He's already tied for 4th. Cabrera is absolutely taking chunks out of that green as he walks back on 14. He's got to putt up about 2.5, 3 different ledges in front of him and the ball. Ridges, I should say. Ledges, a strange word. And he's just, El Pato, right? The duck, he is laboring. Look at where Matty Schmid is aiming this. He's going to try and land it in the rough and then have it just trickle down onto the green. He's decided that going at it is not his best bet. It did roll out, and it did finish about 6-7 feet. Yeah, that was a smart play. Had to have his back toward the hole. And Angel's run it by a good 12 feet on 14. We're going to see if Ben Griffin does the same thing. He's a little closer to the green, so maybe he's not as concerned of, coming in with height. Like, I don't know if Schmid was too far off or it would have been coming in with a little bit of momentum. I would guess that Ben Griffin can go a little bit more direct here. And yeah, he is looking much straighter. Still got to start left of the hole, you'd think. Otherwise, it's just going to bleed. But low spinner left of it. Pretty similar spot to Schmid's. Not exactly a good leave for either of our 2 leaders there. Sitting down a little bit. Nice slow-mo here. He did a good job of going right underneath it and got a good amount of check on it. You can see that ball spinning back pretty good. Just with that green and that pin, you can't miss it there. They're in roughly the exact same spot. Schmid's actually a little closer, so he's going to get a teach. Ricky for birdie on 13. Parig just played his 3rd on the par 5 16th. Ricky's misses low. Parig, 1 bounce short of the green, onto the middle of the green. Ooh, that's a classy shot. That's classy there from Parig. 70th hole of a major championship. It's still rolling. It's still rolling, but it's on the correct tier. Is it going to stay there? Is it going to roll all the way off the green? It stays on the very right side. I don't care too much about one league versus another, but isn't this a year where contracts are up? Will Bryson lose his YouTube if he leaves live? No, I don't think he'll lose his YouTube. Contracts are up. Alan Shipnuck and I have talked about that on the show a number of times. I mean, you've seen guys, but the only guys who have really been asked about it are Bryson and Brooks, and they've taken completely opposite stances. Bryson's been like, I really believe in what we're doing here. I think team golf is the future. Live is growing. We're growing this, and Brooks is like, I'm a free agent. Make me an offer. Basically, that's basically what he said. Tommy Fleetwood driving iron up the middle on 17. Cabrera for par on 14. He's got it with a fist pump. 2 fist pumps for El Pato. With the air conditioning logo on the hat and the left breast. Thought I read Liv owns the YouTube rights. There's been some, I don't know. I don't think Liv owns Bryson's YouTube channel. I don't know. Maybe they do. I really don't know. There was some chatter about, why wasn't he in the first duels event, seeing as it was very much a YouTube event. But and he didn't play in that one, so I think that kind of fed a bunch of theories about what's going on there. But he's playing in the next one. So, all right, Ben Griffin for par on 13. This is a big putt because Matty Schmid's putting right on the same line. That's right the whole way. That is right the whole way. Ben Griffin will drop a shot, and Matty Schmid's got the exact same putt. If he can hit this inside left with some pace, we have a tournament. We have a tournament already. But we'd have a serious tournament. Bryson won't admit that he won't come back. Brooks will all but come back. I remember Brooks saying he wouldn't have run away if he wasn't hurt. That is correct, I suppose. That was the 2023 Masters. I remember it well. He was playing well. It was the first Masters since the Live era. And they asked him, would you have made a different decision if you weren't hurt? And he said, yes. Great shot from Scotty from the fairway bunker on 15. Don't know if that's going to roll off the front. Had a lot of spin. It stays on the front edge for Scotty Scheffler. I think he is in the one in Virginia. Yes, he is. Bryson is playing in the next one in Virginia, the one that is airing on the Bryan Brothers channel. Thomas Bjorn is playing the 18th. He could post 7 under. He's hit it way right into the rough. All right, here's Schmid with the anchor. Not the anchor. I shouldn't say that. I'm not throwing accusations. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I hate the game. I hate the game. I hate the long putter game. Give us a better view than this. Worm cam. Give me the worm cam. I'm asking for it. There it is. There's the worm cam. Like a massage. Like a massage. That one went left. We said inside left for Matty Schmid's. We saw. Did you guys not see Ben Griffin's putt break right? And Matty Schmid starts his on the left side, and it does not go in. Thomas Bjorn, the senior PGA, will post the clubhouse lead. How good does that look, by the way? I can Congressional. The tee boxes just being the fairway. This place is stunting right now. It looks awesome. Onhill started one way left. It's cutting. He's picking up the tee real fast. Onhill's getting me a little fired up. Right down the middle on 15 for Cabrera. Par 4 here. He's got the par 5 16th. Where we've got Harrington putting for birdie. Congressional looks sick. Yes, it does. No worm cam. We need a shirt cam to see the putter make contact, says Tucker Jensen. I'm glad that you feel the same way that I do, Tucker. I'm glad that you feel the same way I do. Matty Schmid is looking like he's going to get into the Memorial. Harry Hall is up there. Carl Phillips is up there. Aldrich is up there. So maybe some of these finishes will impact the Aon next 5 and see who gets into Colonial. Harrington's going to make par on 16 after that adventure. Really good lag putt. Really good lag putt. Hell of a back 9 for Kurt Kitayama. Just hold out from the bunker. Double bogey, birdie, bogey, bogey, birdie. Here's Tommy. That's another, just a classic Congressional look. Or classic Colonial look. Trees left, trees right. Looked like he went and got that one. That's flying a little bit higher than we're anticipating. And it's in the bunker. Tommy's done a lot of nothing on this back 9 here. Looking up very quizzically at the wind. Bud Cauley putting with that blade and the short putter. Just hits extra hard after we're watching Matty Schmid. Again, don't hate the player, hate the game. I hate the game. Eric Van Rooyen had the round of the day, -5 to finish -3 and post a top 35 finish. Thank you, Joseph Boza, our unofficial stats consigliere. All right, the leaders are on 14T. So they've played 4 holes in an hour and 22 minutes. You guys think they're going to finish by 6? I don't think they're going to finish by 6. I don't think they're going to finish by 6. Ricky's got the honor. What a unlucky situation there for Matty Schmid. I wonder if seeing Ben Griffin's putt almost screwed with him a little bit. Because we saw it and we were very, very sure that it was going to be a left center putt. He hit a left center putt that broke right. Shot tracker non-functional for Ricky there. It's left into the rough. Nice little lie, though. He should be okay. Not going to be able to control spin, though. No way they finish, says Aussie Golfer. Yeah, they're not finishing by 6. It's just not going to happen. Bobby Mack for birdie on 14. Gets it to go. Bob McIntyre is into a tie for 4th with Scotty Scheffler and Tommy Fleetwood. This is what I was talking about earlier. It's like if it was Scheffler, Fleetwood, McIntyre at the top of the leaderboard, nobody would be complaining about the field. That's golf. Do you play in Vegas, Dan, says Aussie Golfer. Never played golf in Vegas. I've been to Shadow Creek for the Tiger for some of those matches around the over the years, and then I did something with Minwoo at TPC Las Vegas, but other than that, I haven't. We're just not getting anything from that tracker on 14. It doesn't want to cooperate today. That's okay. Right rough for Matty Schmid. Scotty with the claw. Ooh, that's a little further than I'm used to seeing the claw from Scotty. Are we extending the claw a little bit further out? Misses on the low side on 15, but that was probably 15 feet with the claw. Wasn't the claw initially with Scotty only like, inside 8 feet? Wonder if he's feeling... That's kind of how it goes, I feel like, with the claw. At least when I was using the claw, it was like, first you start way left from Ben Griffin. So just 3... These guys are not exactly flushing it in the final group. I feel like the claw starts with like inside 5 feet, and you're like, oh, I actually kind of like this. And then you start to creep out longer and longer. I want Phillips to finish top 5, says Aussie Golfer. Feels like Scotty is just going through the motions this week. He took in the Dallas Stars game on Wednesday, only did 9 holes on Tuesday. Didn't he also go to the... No, I was going to say Mavs game, but Mavs aren't playing. So it would have been the Stars that I was looking at. Yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling at home. He won a major last week. He supports his hometown event. Lucas Glover just made a long putt. He supports his hometown event, and he gets to sleep in his own bed. It's not more complicated for him than that. Angel Cabrera, 166 into 15. Blind second shot. He's playing a cut. Quick twirl after impact. It's a beautiful shot from Angel Cabrera, guys. That's about 8 feet for birdie on 15 with a par 5 coming up next. Probably was a faster putt, says he was more comfy, says Tucker Jensen. Ian Warren shorts. Is Matty going to lose? The odds are yes, I would say. He's down 2 with 5 holes to go. Don't think that's a hot take. Par putt would have gone a super, super long way there, but it wasn't to be. Angel is like a closer, man. Angel is a closer. Yeah, they played so they had majors back-to-back weeks. I might have to get a little graphic started for our guy here. I might have to get a little tweet graphic for Angel Cabrera. I'm feeling like he's, I'm not going to say he's one hit on the trophy, but I'm feeling like he's the favorite right now. And then, 18 at Congressional is just, I forgot how epic that hole is. The downhill left to right with that huge green, bunch of different tiers in it. Congressional showing out beautifully. Really enjoying watching. Could Bud Cauley post 10 and make Ben think about it? I think 11 is the number. I think 11 is the number that would make them think about it. I think it would be cool if he wins, but I wanted to hear your insight. It would be cool if he wins. It would be cool for anyone to win. It would be his first PGA Tour win. Miguel Angel Cabrera is having a new life on the senior PGA Tour. That's what it's there for. But I wouldn't say it's a new life. I would say the senior tour is a new life for a guy like Steven Alker, a guy who was a total journeyman when they play on the PGA Tour. And then they get to the Champions Tour and they make millions and millions of dollars. Scotty on 16 is our first look at the par 3. God, those greens are really, really firming up. Really firming up. McDavid is a 4, says Laz. I'm guessing that Edmonton just scored. That would be my guess. We got McIntyre tee shot on 15. I'm going to say that he has kind of a similar move to Ben Griffin. I think they have similar action through the ball. A little bit of violence. A little bit of violence in there. A little bit of violence. Not the worst thing. That is an old fairway wood. Ryo Hitsatsune with the water in his mouth. It finds the birdie on 18, another top 10. Fist pump for him. The strong year continues for Ryo Hisatsune. Someone said President's Cup. He would make it if they played it today. For sure he would. He's only 22 years old, Ryo Hisatsune. JJ Spawn, another Ryder Cup sort of, bubble boy. Birdies to get to tie for 6. Ryo Hisatsune is about to get his 4th top 10 of the year. T10 in Mexico, T4 at Valspar, T5 at Valero. I'm going to say that Hisatsune, Ben Griffin, and Andrew Novak have been the MVPs of the non-signature events this year. Those, and you know what? No, Justin Thomas, the one he won was a signature event. He did win the RBC Heritage. Let's petition to get Scotty and Tiger to team up for New Orleans to get Tiger his win record. That's a hell of an idea, Tucker Jensen. I think Scotty would do it. Imagine. What a legacy builder that would be for Scotty. Yeah, I played the best golf ever. Also, Tiger's 83rd win might have had something to do with it. Yes, the transitions, as the architecture I say, are stunning at Congressional. Matty is quite young. Isn't Ben older? Ben Griffin, I think, is around my age. Yeah, he's 29. He's a little younger than me. Matty Schmid is 27. Went to Louisville. Angel is now the betting favorite, -190. They do have live odds. PS 36, I was wrong. I said they definitely don't have live odds on the Senior PGA. You better believe that they do. And Angel is the favorite. We've got a big putt coming up here on 15 for Mr. Cabrera. I'm making my Angel graphic now. That definitely won't jinx him. All right, Angel's got the old school ping putter grip. That always reminds me of Tiger. That grip looks a little fatter than Tiger's. Thoughts on Scotty's week? Will Thompson. It's like breathing for him finishing in the top 10 of these tournaments. He went to the Stars game. Looks like he's not put in the craziest week of prep, but he's going to finish in the top 5, almost certainly. Another couple hundred G's. Gets to play in his home tournament. I think he's playing Memorial next week, and then he'll be off before the U.S. Open at Oakmont. All right, Cabrera for birdie on 15 for the solo lead with the yellow ball. Never a doubt, Angel Cabrera to 9 under par. He's got a 1-shot lead on Padraig Harrington after a 2 perfect shot birdie on 15, and he steps to the par 5 16th now, trying to win his second major in the last 2 weeks. He is playing Jax, but not Rory. Yes, that is right. Rory is skipping the Memorial, but he is playing Inside Scoop on Scargent. I'm going to get there in a second. Ben Griffin, 1-arm finish on 14. I don't know if that hit a tree. It did hit a tree, and it's still in the rough for Ben Griffin on 14, short-sided. He's looking like that's almost a definite bogey with how firm the greens are. Inside Scoop on Scargent says, Laz, Gordon Sargent was hitting a 350-yard cut drive. He left his childhood coach for Mark Blackburn, who believed Gordon Sargent should be drawing the ball. His game spiraled. He's now left Blackburn. That is some inside stuff. I had heard that he was no longer working with Blackburn. I didn't know about the ball flight change. But, yeah, Gordon Sargent got to be in an interesting mental space, right? Could have gone to the PGA Tour when he was playing unbelievable, decides to come back. And didn't even play in regionals. He was a first-team All-American and 3-time Haskins Award finalist in each of his first 3 seasons while winning 6 times. He has fallen off a cliff. There's no other way to say it. He is in the college rankings number 523. That is putting good Bud Cauley back in this. Thomas Bjorn par 18. He's in at -7. Wondering if that will be it. No way. Angel's not making 2 bogeys with a par 5 coming up. Schmid's second on 14. Short right. Okay. Much better spot than Ben Griffin. He's in the fairway. He doesn't have a bunker to hit it over. He's got some green to work with. Scotty putting from just long of the par 3 16th green. Yeah, runs at about 4 feet by. He could have already been pro, but made his coach happy at Vanderbilt, said Joseph Boza. I think it's just, you just got to go pro when you're playing well, man. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. Listen, I'm and I'm a guy who's been going to college golf programs this whole year. I understand how amazing it is, and pro golf will always be there, is what, and especially like in that scenario, pro golf will actually always be there. Not always, but you get the same exemption whether you turn pro, whether he had left after his junior year or his senior year. But if you're Jackson Coyven and you're thinking, I'm playing really good right now, do I just start this journey? Who knows? Scotty's in for par. As a Vandy fan, it hurts to see his struggles, but Luke List is holding it down for Vandy. Is he? Gordon Sargent's last last 6 college events, +8, +14, +7, +20, +6, +12. Those are all 3 rounds. Oh, man. And now you've got to go play against Rory and Scotty when your game's in the toilet. Interesting. All right, Ben Griffin's third on 14. It's got to be high and soft. It is high and soft. It lands short of the green. It pitches on to about 12 feet. Okay, that was sensible. The coaches don't want to lose star players. Let's be 100. Alabama suffered after Nick Dunlap went pro. But it's a misalignment of the coach is concerned about college golf. The player's concerned about the player, you'd think. But obviously not. I mean, he obviously wanted to try to win a national championship. He won an individual national championship, got to play in the Masters. He wanted to win a team one. He could have been on the PGA Tour already. His senior year isn't that good. Says, I don't know. Can't read that. Okay, Angel Cabrera is on the 16th tee with a 1-shot lead. Schmid is going with the putter. You don't see that too often with the long putter. A lot of the times the guys are a little bit hesitant of using it off the green. Just a little bit of a longer lever can be hard at times to make solid contact. But he's got the putter out. Must be super, super tight. And it looks like that green is pretty firm. Or it looks like the fairway surrounding it's mowed toward the green. So it should be down green. We've got Angel setting up the left side. It's reminding me of Oakmont in 2000 whenever he beat Tiger. Still got 170 ball speed is this guy with the inside of the ball cut. I mean, how good is that? Over that bunker, right down the center. Angel Cabrera, that's rolling and rolling and rolling and still rolling. That's probably 310, 320 off the tee. And Schmid has left his about 7 feet short. Neither Schmid nor Griffin are exactly, galloping to the finish. Once you lock up your card, you should go. Not speaking for these athletes, but you lose a little bit of motivation since you're going pro already, so you only hurt yourself in confidence. I think that's right. I think it's, once you achieve your goal, which is now, Gordon Sargent, I mean, a lot of these kids didn't really think, like, they thought they were going to have to go to Q school. Now with college golf and the direct line to the PGA Tour, once you accomplish your goal and then you have like a bad tournament in college, you're thinking like, should I just be on tour already? All right, Padraig Harrington putting downhill way left to right on 17 to try and tie Cabrera. It's a little bit past the hole, about 3.5 feet. Weird little golf nerd stuff. Dunlap, Smiley, and Sargent all from Birmingham, all peaked early, all developed the driver yips. Coincidence? I think yes, coincidence. Well, Blackburn's a Birmingham guy. Maybe that's when he started working with Gordon Sargent. Brett McCabe lives down there. They've got a squad in Birmingham. Sepp Straka, I believe, lives down there as well. I can't remember the name of the golf course. Gordon was the highest paid NIL athlete at Vandy. He's the biggest NIL bust to date, all sports. Wow says, how much money do you think he was getting? You think Gordon Sargent was making over $1 million? Padraig for par on 17. He's got it. It's easier to putt off the green when the club is attached to your body, says Tucker Denson. It's easier to putt anywhere when the club is attached to your body. I won't try it. Would it improve my putting? I don't know, probably. Ricky just misses for birdie on 14. And here, these are the big putts. These are the ones we were waiting for. Par putts from Ben Griffin and Matty Schmid. Schmid's got 6 feet 7 inches. Griffin's got, let's see. Griffin's got 12 feet. So doubly as long of a putt. Rumored to be $2 million plus, says Laz Versailles. A college golfer was getting $2 million at Vanderbilt. Well, that makes it a little easier to stay. Scotty with a little bit of a pull. It's trying to cut on 17. It catches the fairway. He should be okay there. That's a miss of the number one player in the world. A little bit of a pull that still kind of cuts. Not short right. Nothing weak. Just a hair of a pull. Lucas Glover gets a birdie putt to go on 17, but I think Pavia may have passed him by now. He was key because they built the new golf house thing, and having Gordon around was important. Yep, there is an arms race going on in golf. Alabama built like a $50 million facility. Vanderbilt built a new facility. I got to get down there. I've already been to Auburn, Georgia, Texas, Florida. We got some more SEC schools to go to. Ben Griffin for par on 14. It is tracking. It catches the right side of the hole. That is a big up and down from Ben Griffin, and he pumps the fist. Hits it left off the tee, catches a tree off his second, plays it to about 12 feet, and makes the putt. He has not made a birdie since the second hole. Started the day, eagle birdie. He's 3 over since then, but that was an absolutely massive putt. And now Matty Schmidt's putt to stay 2 back is huge. So why go on tour if you're getting millions to stay? It certainly makes it a lot harder. It certainly makes the decision a lot harder. If there wasn't NIL, he probably wouldn't have stayed. Yeah, he got a big Nike deal, a big Titleist deal. He's in the Titleist commercial, Gordon Sargent. I see him in that commercial. All right, Matty Schmid, we got a great worm cam on Ben Griffin. Where is it? Bring it to me. No worm cam. And he misses it. Is it because there wasn't a worm cam? I don't know, but Ben Griffin's lead is restored to 3, and Ben Griffin is already on that tee and sending a message to Matty Schmid that with 4 holes to go, I've got a 3-shot lead, and you're going to have to do something special to beat me. All right, Parring on 18, 1 shot behind. Angel Cabrera switching back and forth. We're doing the Ray Allen. I don't know if Parring's back is hurting, but he looks like he just really doesn't want to swing a golf club right now. I don't know if he's like completely lost his feel or what it is, but the last 4 swings I've seen out of Parrig here. It is a 4-round tournament. They usually play 3. I don't know if it's hot over. I don't know what's going on, but Parrig is falling apart. Sneds made the leading or one of the leading donations for the new facility. It looks unbelievable. It looks absolutely unbelievable. I don't have any idea how these kids go to class, and the answer is a lot of them don't. We had a clip that went kind of crazy yesterday when I was playing with the Georgia guys, and I was asking them about they get to play Augusta every year. See you, Laz. Ready Chick, right down the street. I'm like half a mile away. We'll see you next week, Laz. Thanks for stopping by. Much love to you. Golf Sicko hat will be in the mail. I was just talking about something. Oh, Georgia. We had a clip of, so, one of the kids was like, yeah, we get to go play Augusta every year. It's only like 80 minutes away. And I said, oh, do they give you that date at the beginning of the year to make sure that you guys are dialed in school wise? And the guy said, well, you have to pass all your classes. You can't get a D and play at Augusta. And they were saying that every year there's one class that you're really, really sweating out. And a couple of them had gotten like a 95 on their accounting finals to squeak out a 70.5 so they could go play Augusta. So priorities are in order. It could be exhaustion, says Joseph Boza. Majors are 4 rounds, and they had 2 back-to-back. He's -5 today, made a big move about Patty. That is correct, but I don't know. Patty practices so much. I have a hard time believing he's just like gassed. I wonder if it's just a complete loss of feel or if there's some physical stuff going on because he looks downright uncomfortable out there. Jason Karen, wow, that's an interesting putting grip. It's like a hockey stick. Birdie 16 to get to 7 under. Former club pro, Jason Karen, playing a bunch of PGAs. Okay, we got Ben Griffin on the 15th tee. Big tree overhanging left, a road to the right with all of those equipment trucks and trailers. It starts down the right side. It's holding its line. Wind's kind of pushing it left. I think that's a good one. Yep, really good tee shot there from Ben Griffin. Does it avoid the rough? Catches the first. That is narrow up there. That is really narrow because I thought that was pretty much perfect. Angel's second shot into the par 5 16th from 218 yards. That tee shot went 330. He's watching it intently. Give a little half club twirl. Oh, it's right at it. Oh, Angel Cabrera. That's going to trickle through the back of the green, but he'll still be able to putt that. I think he'll still be able to putt that back up the hill, and that's another perfect swing from Angel. The momentum is on El Pato's side. Round 1, Ricky went viral for hitting a second shot on 15 from the street and was on the green. Yeah, I saw that. He was standing outside. He was standing out of bounds. Schmids is going left. It's just a really narrow tee shot where they're landing it. That's where the hole really starts to curve to the right. So you almost got to hit 3-wood and stay short, or be able to hit driver over that bunker on the right. It's just a hard tee shot. Just a hard tee shot. Who y'all got for top American? I'm going to bet on Ben Griffin. That's who I got. Angel. Is someone going to sponsor Angel, or is he just going to be wearing the ACs the whole time? The air conditioning sponsorship. We're getting into crunch time, guys. Getting into crunch time in both tournaments. We got Angel on 16. We got our leaders on 15. Now all I'm thinking about is Tiger playing in these senior majors, man. How do I feel about John Pack? Never met the guy. He's got the good hat on. He was a great player at Florida State. I remember that. I think he played in the Walker Cup. Even if Matty doesn't win, this is still a great week. Got points. He was 101st on the FedEx Cup and will win the Aon Swing 5 to get into next week. That is right. Not everyone is playing, balls to the wall, win over everything. There's more stuff at stake here, especially for a guy in the shoes of Matty Schmid, getting to play the Memorial, huge event. And a chance, a high finish there. You get the points, you get the money, you get all that good stuff. So there's more at stake here than just the Charles Schwab. Will the Senior PGA Tour get a big jolt if Tiger turns pro on the Senior PGA next week? Yeah, you better believe it. I wonder. I would think that like it's probably to the point. I mean, Tiger turns 50 in December, so that's really soon. And it's probably to the point where like they have, I would guess, like a contingency plan or like some sort of planning for if Tiger does play. Like they're gonna have to. I don't know if they got to change the ticketing pricing or their how they do the tickets, or they got to add more hospitality. But you better believe if Tiger decides that he's going to play, a couple times in the winter, just to sort of, and it's a great opportunity for him to get reps before like the Masters and stuff, because he doesn't have to walk. Then again, he did just have like another major surgery, so who knows? Oh, that's going to go in. Tommy's has got to fall in. Don't move that camera. Do not move that camera. That putt's going in on 18. Don't move it. That is as close as a ball can be to going in without going in. I still think it's going to go in. It's leaning. It's going in. It might not go in. He's watching it. Just one little gust. He's like, how does it not go in? Other guys watching it too. At this point, it's been 10 seconds. They probably give you a stroke anyway. Remember, I think it was McNeely who that happened to, where he was waiting around for 10 seconds. Wait, did it go in? It went in. Wait, they didn't even show it go in. We were waiting that whole time for it to go in. Are you kidding me with that camera work? I said it was going in the whole time, and they missed the best part. The wind's coming. There it is. That probably made him like 50 grand, at least. Birdie's the last, finish tied for fourth. thought that went in. Tiger could use a card if he wanted to. That's what I'm saying. Like, he could play, Riviera against all these guys and whatever, or he could walk and grind it out and be, in a horrible spot, or he can play on the Champions Tour in a cart for 3 rounds. Classy shot from parring on 18. That was scary with all the water to the right. He's found the green. Ricky from the trees on 15 hits the I believe that hit the pin. That had way too much speed on it. Guys, by the way, they got no chance of finishing in 40 minutes, which is when I believe the broadcast window ends. Not a chance. Threes are the enemy. Threes are the absolute enemy. Threesomes. I mean, I notice it. This is like right around when we're finishing the watch along, usually. It's been about 2 hours the last couple of weeks as they've been in twosomes the whole time. It's been great. It's been absolutely fantastic. All right. Schmid from just short of the bunker on 15. He can land this on the front edge with some height and trickle it out. It's absolutely doable. He's got the height part down. It lands well short. That landed about 10 yards too short. Now he's in a very similar spot to where he was in the 14th hole where he used that non-anchored putter. All right, Cabrera for birdie on 16. He ran the birdie putt about 5 feet by. He's tapping it down. I don't know what it is about the yellow ball. Do you think they get paid more for the yellow ball when they go to the senior tour? Because there's a lot more yellow. Maybe they just can't see. It's probably that simple. It's probably as simple as they just can't see anymore. The yellow ball is a little easier to see. My dad uses a yellow ball. He's definitely Champions Tour age. Oh, Ben Griffin stayed out of the bunker, so he should be able to get this high too. You can run it up here. He's got to land this sort of halfway between Schmid's ball and the green on the first bounce, and it'll skip up there. He pulled it into the bunker. That was not good. That was not good at all. That was not good at all. There was a lot of room past that flag. He should be okay. There's a little bit of room to work with, but that definitely came out left. And Angel missed the birdie putt on 16, so it's a par 3-putt par, sort of a 3-putt, unofficial 3-putt par for Angel. He's got a 1-shot lead still. He went left-hand low on the putt and missed it. Not a ton of birdies. Not a ton of birdies we've seen on the stream today. You guys are absolute legends for sticking with me here. Legends. Legends of the game. Given the wins today, I knew they weren't finishing in 5 hours, said Joseph Boza. Well, you were right. They're still on 15. They're still on their 6th hole, and it's been an hour and 48 minutes. So, par 3 after this. Bud Cauley on 18 from the right rough. Could be his best finish of the year. That rolls past it into the rough just long. I think that would be his best finish of the year. I want to say he has a tie for 4th somewhere else. The Players or something. Tie for 6th at the Players, tie for 4th at the Valspar. So this would be his 4th top 6 finish in his last 7 starts. Really good stuff. Robert McIntyre is in. He's currently tied for 4th at under. Speaking of tie for, let's just enjoy. We're gonna really enjoy watching Scotty on this 18th hole. We're gonna drink this in. Scotty Scheffler on the 18th hole, the best player on God's green earth. The driver that starts on the left side, trying to cut. He has picked up the tee, which usually means he's no longer concerned with where it will go, and that catches the fairway, and that's a hot one too. Scotty's hitting that kind of low cut off the tee, low-ish. He's all smiles. Teddy must have said something funny. Okay, we got Ben Griffin on 15. Good lie, front of the bunker, bit of an upslope. I'd expect this to be close. No, very poor bunker shot from Ben Griffin. Or is that going to come back? It comes back a smidge, but that's 6 feet. He's left the door open for Schmid big time. I mean, big time. Caught that one a little bit too clean. That was not a difficult bunker shot. Yeah, you could tell it was more ball than he wanted there. That was not crisp contact. Are you going to all the Premier League summer matches? No, I'm not. I'm not. They are. There's not in LA this year, and last year when they were in LA, I was in Scotland for the Open, and I think I'll be. I think I'll be in. I'm going to Ireland for two. I'm going to Ireland for my golf trip, and then I'm going to the Open right after that. So I'll be over there for 2 weeks. Player who surprised you the most with their ball flight in person. Love to watch along. Love you too, Jacob Dean. Player who surprised you the most with their ball flight in person. I will say Daniel Berger hits it so low. It's kind of hard to believe that he's as good as he is. I'm gonna look this up right now. They have apex height as a stat on the PGA Tour, and I look at it before majors because I feel like height helps in majors with how hard the greens are, how firm the greens are, and how long the rough is. Okay, so apex height. We're gonna look. So Frankie Sappin leads the tour in apex height, or I don't know if leads is the right word. He has the highest ball on tour, 134 feet. Keegan Bradley's third, 125. Ricky Fowler, 128 feet. Daniel Berger is at 83 feet, just below Russell Henley, 169th on tour. The only guys the guys who hit it lower than Daniel Berger, Aaron Rai. So Aaron Rai, Daniel Berger, and Russell Henley are holding it down for the low ball hitters, 83 feet. Then it's Adam Schenk, Rikuya Hoshino, Lucas Glover, Henrik Norlander, Ben Coles, Brian Campbell, who won this year, doesn't have a lot of speed, Camilo Villegas, Mateo Montecero, Adam Svensson, and Takumi Kanaya. And that's it. Everybody else hits a higher ball than Daniel Berger. So that one really surprised me. Just, it's super, it's like a super flat swing, and you think to yourself, how does he hit it way up in the air? Well, he doesn't really. I mean, I'm sure he can, but he doesn't really. Regarding the Tiger talks with Simon James, my hunch is he really wants the USGA Slam, and the Senior US Open is the only thing on his to-do list outside maybe something with Charlie like PNC or more. And I think he really wants it bad. I think next year, for example, okay, PGA Championship, Arana Mink, Senior PGA Championship after. What does Tiger have a better chance of winning? I think we all know the answer. Ben Griffin for par on 15. He's got it again. That's another really, really big par putt. 14 and 15 for Ben Griffin. We can say what we want about the third shots, but he's going to keep making 12 footers for par. He's not going to lose. He maintains a 3-shot lead at least. Matty Schmidt is not in yet. He retains a 3-shot lead going to the final 3 holes, and I think we have a pretty good idea who is going to win the tournament over at least at Colonial. Ben Griffin's got a 3-shot lead with 3 to go. Meanwhile, we got Padraig Harrington putting for par to stay one back on 18 of Angel Cabrera. His birdie putt ran about 4 feet past the hole on the low side. But yeah, I agree. I think Tiger wants to win the U.S. Senior Open really bad. He'll have then won every U.S. GA event there is to win. Matty Schmidt for par. He's got it. Okay, so he stays 3 back with 3 to go. We said 11. I still think 11 would have been the number to post. Collie couldn't get there. Fleetwood couldn't get there. What Irish courses are you playing? Good question. I'm going to do a little watch along thing here. I'm going to show you exactly where we're playing. I believe that I can, yeah, I can just pull this up. Okay. Here we go. Let's do it. We are going to go to flexing a little bit here on my capabilities. We're going to go to image. We're going to go to Ireland courses. We're going to press OK. We're going to browse. Here are the courses that I'm playing in Ireland. How about that? I might just get all this different stuff on the screen. Why not, right? It's kind of fun. This is the lineup for Ireland. I think we're in the south, I want to say. Portmarnock, Ballybunion, Lahinch, Doonbeg, Waterville, Hogshead, and the island. No Adair Manor, where they're having the Ryder Cup. But Hogshead, I've heard, is like unbelievable. Shane Lowry was telling me about that place. He's a member there. If you look up Hogshead, if you Google Hogshead, it's like straight out of Architectural Digest. It's like farmhouses on the water and I think people take like a helicopter to the first tee. The guys trip breakdown is my dad, myself, and two of my best friends from high school who I still play golf with all the time. So I turned 30 in December. We didn't want to go to Ireland in December, so we've had this on the K Cry says traveling on the road for 5 hours. So glad you're doing this broadcast. I got you, K Cry. It's supposed to be over in 30 minutes, but it ain't gonna happen that way. We're gonna run a little bit over. Our cup runneth over. But yeah, no, we've had this trip on the schedule for a year plus. My dad's not getting any younger, so I'm really, really looking forward to doing a proper guys trip like this. Last time my dad and I did a trip like this outside the country was right after high school, which is different. Our relationship is different now than it was then in a good way. He's always still my dad, but I think when it gets to a time where your dad goes from being like your dad to like someone that you just really cherish and like spending time with. How did I get these bags? I am having a charity auction for a buddy of mine in his memory who passed away. Oh, Parig missed. So he's got a 2-shot lead. Angel's got a 2-shot lead. Wow. 3-putt bogey on the last for Parig Harrington. Still shot 68. And Shane and Colin were nice enough to donate bags for the auction that we're going to do for the event, which is at July 23rd, the TZ Invitational in loving memory of Tyler Zanes. May his memory be a blessing. Rest in peace. Okay. Angel from the left rough on 17 with that yellow golf ball. It lands on... How did he get spin from there? What a shot from Angel. Perfectly pin high into the middle of the green. Glad you were doing the trip before the British Open. Yep, I will not be. Last year, when I was at Barstool, I had the biggest nightmare getting to the Open. They lost my bag. I missed my flight even though I didn't miss my flight. The flight was delayed an hour, but because our incoming flight was late, it was like they had overlapped and I guess they didn't factor in the delay. So we were standing at customs being like, the plane doesn't leave for an hour. They're like, we can't let you through. And they didn't have my bag, and they gave me literally a bag with a white t-shirt and a toothbrush. And that's all I had for 2 nights. And then I had to coordinate getting my bag back. They had to drive it from frickin' Edinburgh airport to Troon. It was a nightmare. That is an awesome lineup. I know the first 3 for a fact. I'm sure the others will be just as sweet. Yeah, Portmarnock, it sounds like it's getting an Open Championship. That's the rumor. That is the rumor. Okay, Schmid on 16. It's drawn. Looks to be a little bit left. Oh, it's on a fantastic line. Oh my goodness, what a shot from Matty Schmid. Okay, Matty. We handed this trophy to Ben Griffin a little bit too early. Maybe if you could have just gotten up and down with that long putter on the last 2 holes, you'd be 1 back. But we don't focus on the past. You said Tiger's going to play some of the senior majors, or was it just speculating? It's speculating. Tiger hasn't commented on any of this. I don't think Tiger's thinking about playing golf right now after, the surgery, another surgery he just had. I honestly can't even remember what the surgery he had was. That's how many there have been. I'm going to look up right now. Was it he had the ankle fusion? Oh, ruptured Achilles. That's right. He ruptured his Achilles. He had surgery on September. He had surgery in September of 2024. He had back surgery. Didn't play at all, except for TGL. Or did he play? Did he play an event? I don't think he didn't play an event, I don't think, this year. Did he? I can't even remember anymore, man. I used to know everything about it. I mean, I still do, but it's just so hard to keep track. No, didn't play a single event. He hasn't made a cut since the 2024 Masters. Didn't play a single event this year, and then ruptured his Achilles. So, yeah, I don't think Tiger's thinking about the Senior PGA Championship. Hinch and Doonbeg are really close to each other. Yeah, I think there's I think we have some striving to do, but I don't even care, man. I've never been to Ireland. I've been to Northern Ireland. I played Royal County Down. I played Port Stewart, and I played Port Rush, where the Open is this year. Did that when we went to Scotland and Northern Ireland in 2013, my dad and I, and we're running it back in 2025. Never been to Ireland, never been to Dublin, never stepped foot in Ireland. Been to Northern Ireland, never been to south of the border. I can't wait. It's creeping up. You know, when those golf trips, like you have them on the schedule, and they're this thing that exists in the future that's almost abstract, and then it and then it becomes real. This one's becoming real. Emil Magus says, new to the channel. Welcome. Please subscribe. Did you play professionally yourself? No. Colton Summers, I'm so pissed. I had no idea Dan was doing this watch along. Well, you're here now, Colton. You're here now. So, and we're not going anywhere. Oh, and I'm seeing a preview for Stick. Guys, I saw my cameo in Stick. And let me just say, I might be taking up acting full time. I thought I put in just a masterful performance. It really showed off my range. It really showed off my range as an actor. Talking about golf, just not my comfort zone at all. It was honestly a very different scenario than we're in right now. It definitely wasn't just a camera and me and talking about golf and yapping. It was something very different. And yeah, I put my heart and soul into the role. I actually method acted, fasted for a couple days before going up there for the shoot. Just wanted to feel like the character I was playing, which is myself. But yeah, Stick comes out really soon, really, really soon. And again, I saw my cameo, and they say when the role is right, it's Daniel Day-Lewis and Dan Rapaport, and then everybody else. Chalamet this, Chalamet that. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. Wait till you see my cameo in that show. Ben Griffin from Long of the Green on 16. Still a bit of a potential for a 2-shot swing here. That's trickled out. To about 10 feet. He's made 2 in a row from that range. So he's putting for par. Schmid's much closer putting for birdie. We got Angel on 17 putting for birdie. A par here would go along. Yeah, Angel's done beautifully. About 5 feet, and he's just got about 5 inches, I should say. And all he's got to do is bogey the last, and Angel Cabrera incredibly will have 2 majors this year. And in back-to-back weeks. I don't know what to do with that, man. I don't know what to do with that. It obviously doesn't, make anything okay. But also, he's turned it around. If the Masters let him back, he did his time. He did the definition of his time. He did hard time. Again, does not excuse at all what happened. It's horrendous what he did, but I don't think anyone saw 2 majors coming out. For Tiger, if he wins at his first U.S. Senior Open next year, my guess is he hangs it up and only plays the Masters and PNC, not chasing Jack. Well, he's not chasing Jack anymore. Scotty, we talked about a backdoor T3. Is it coming? No, it just dies short and right, and that'll put a cap on Scotty Scheffler's week. A final round 69. He finishes on a tie for 4th alongside Tommy Fleetwood and Robert McIntyre. So Scotty's results this year, let's take a look at where they are. There was a lot of talk early in the year of, he's off to a slow start. Won his next 2 events, and it's not so slow anymore. So his year started at Pebble, T9, T25, T3, T11, T20, T2. His last 6 starts, T2, 4th, T8th, win, T4th. He's okay. Scotty's all right. Not concerned about Scotty anymore. And it feels like, Oakmont, is like the manliest major you could possibly get, right? There's probably 5 to 10 guys who could realistically win that tournament. And we're coming off a major where it felt like there were only really 4 or 5 guys who could win at the PGA, and one of them finished first and one of them finished second. And one of them, John Rahm, had, tie for the lead on Sunday. So it played out how we thought it would. I mean, Oakmont feels like another macho test. I bet something about prison and being alone with your thoughts a lot does something to help you mentally with golf, like forced meditation, says Hallie's Berries. Maybe. Probably realized how much he missed it. And I bet 3-putting doesn't quite hit the same. Okay, par putt for Ben Griffin on 16. He's left it short. He has left it short. Okay, things just got very interesting. Ben Griffin has made a bogey. He's now 12 under, and Matty Schmid has about 3 feet for a 2-shot swing with 2 holes to go. This just got very interesting, guys. This just got very, very interesting so long as Mr. Non-Anchored, and again, I don't hate the player, I hate the game, but I despise the game. I really don't like the long putter. I just don't like it. I'm entitled to my opinion, right? Thought so. If he can make this, he's one behind. He's just one behind. After those, he's not played great either, but a beautiful shot into the par 3 16th. And this is, I'm going to say this is 2.5 feet, and we've got an excellent worm cam here. Worm cam, please. Worm cam, thank you. Oh, even better. They switched from the half worm cam to the full worm cam. He's got it aimed right center. It's right in the middle. Matty Schmidt to 11 under. We got a tournament. We've got a tournament. Oh, man. You never know. That's why we do the watch along. I mean, Alex Bush, if you're watching this, let's not ever question doing the watch along. We thought that Ben Griffin was going to march to victory. That's just not how it goes down. It's just not how it goes down. Winning on the PGA Tour is just difficult. 2-shot swing on 16. Ben Griffin with a 1-shot lead going to the final 2 holes. Things have tightened up considerably, guys. We've got a tournament here. Didn't know Schmid was a dip red man guy. I didn't see it. Is he chewing on it? Like old school? I never got into that stuff. The whole point of prison is playing your debt to society, right? Let the man golf his ball. Jake Ruiz, he's golfing his ball, man. He's played in the Masters. He's, But I'm just saying, winning doesn't, the old saying, winning solves everything. Not everything, right? Not everything. I love the watch along, made these tournaments fun. I agree, Joseph Boza. I don't know what I would do without you guys. And we've got it. We've got ourselves a tournament now. It's a 1-shot lead. And we've got Angel trying to win a senior major. It's all happening now. It's all happening. You see the members standing there on the veranda at Colonial. Good use of veranda there. I'm giving it to Matty. 2-shot swing, -12 and -11 Ben and Matty. Bud Colley is in at -9. Really surprised how tough Colonial was today. Wind and everything. Colonial's never easy. It's narrow. The ball sinks right to the bottom of the rough. Greens get firm. Dog legs everywhere. It's penal. I shot a million when I played it. You can have some really, really bad rounds out there because it's narrow. LFG says Simon James, giving us a great finish indeed. All right, we've got Matty Schmidt on the tee on 17. Most of the guys been going with less than driver here. Looks like he's got an iron in his hand. Angel's missed way right on 18. Schmid's is a very similar line to Scotty. Should catch the left side of the fairway, I would think. Yes, it does. Angel's drawn a good lie. There's basically no rough where his ball is. Is Angel pulling out a cigarette? Oh, this is vintage Angel Cabrera stuff here. Oakmon again. Oakmon again. Remember Oakmon who was chain smoking? Oh, this Angel guy he's so back. He is so back. 3 majors, by the way. 2 majors. Brain twister. 2 majors, and this would be 2 majors on the senior tour already for Angel Cabrera. He's 55. Ben Griffin looks to have also found the fairway on 17, though that one is cutting pretty good. No, it doesn't find the fairway. It finds the rough. It finds the right rough. Okay. I thought that was kind of traversing over the fairway. I guess to showcase the horseshoe more. Thanks for pronouncing my name correctly. Ruiz, is that not right? Dart time, good finish this year. If Ben loses this, the New Orleans won't count much for Ryder Cup consideration. I completely agree. Winning a tournament on your own balls. I don't think Zurich. It did count for Ryder Cup points, which I could not believe. I couldn't believe they got points for winning the Zurich Classic. Both Novak and Ben Griffin did. That feels like a glitch in the Matrix. Shouldn't be the case. On Hill's ball looks like it found a small rut. I think it's in a good spot. You don't? You think it's like in a hole? I think you'd rather be there than in the cabbage. I think people are surprised about Congressional because -9 is leading it and it's only 69.70. Well, it's seniors. Am I missing something? I feel like 69.70 for seniors is like pretty normal. Joseph Boza, I think you might be confused. Miguel Angel is Miguel Angel Jimenez. Angel Cabrera is the guy who is leading the tournament right now. Because you kept on saying Miguel Angel, and I didn't really know what you were talking about. And now I understand the confusion. It's fine. All happens. What ball do you use, Dan? Good question. Let me show you. This year, I've been a Bridgestone guy. Jason Day turned me onto these balls. So I have ADHD, which probably isn't going to surprise any of you. But they've got this mindset ball. So basically, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but sometimes I'll be playing golf and I'll be through like 10 or 11 holes and I'll be like, I don't think I've looked at the ball one time today. Like, what am I looking at? And so this thing has this little mark right here, which you're supposed to look directly at this. I can't get this on camera if I try. You're supposed to look directly at this little ball last thing before you hit it. Just helps your mind kind of lock in a little. Another thing I really love about playing Bridgestone, I can always tell when it's mine. You know, like I see the dimple patterns are a little bit different. Dimple patterns are a little bit different, and then the big bold B, like I can just tell when it's mine, which I really like. I don't like having to pick it up and look at the markings and all that stuff. If it's a Bridgestone, it's Danny's, which I really enjoy. I use what I find, says Aussie Golfer. Sorry, you're right. Angel Cabrera has a 2-shot lead. Not worried about that lie. There is water, but he's so far right that he has a shot. There, it does look like a tree is sort of in play. Maybe just go wedge over it, wedge on the green, 2 putts, and win the tournament. Just maybe. That would be my thought. Man, that Angel, him lighting up the sig right after hitting that tee shot, something's never changed, man. 18 years ago, he was at Oakmont doing the same thing, and Johnny Miller was talking about how it was calming his nerves, and he got in trouble, I believe, because it's not something that's not a message you want to give to the kids. It's just not a message you want to give to the kids. Okay, Ben Griffin on 17 from the rough, 170. So that tee shot went 214 yards, and he's got tree issues. Had to hit a low one, trying to hit a low cut, trying to get spin on it from the left side, and he's done really, really, really well. Is that going to hold the back of the green? Rolls just through the fringe, but that was a hell of a shot. You saw he got to the back of that pretty good. It was a decent lie for him, and he's gotten it to a place where he can putt it. So that was a good shot from Griffin down the right side. Got a decent lie so he could get to the back of the ball. Amada in 1. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that name. Ireland trip, add Trey Lee in the afternoon to Ballybunion on 8th July if looking for another 36 day. Maybe we will. I booked this through like a service, so I don't have any connections with these courses, but I'll pass it along. And Matty Schmid with an opportunity to hit a cut into a back right pin has kind of mishit it, I would say, into a bunker short right. Wow, he had a big advantage there, especially off the tee. Is that in its pitch mark? Did that bury? That looks suspiciously like a fried egg, guys. What are they saying on the broadcast? It's short-sided. That was a big-time miss, man. That was a big-time miss. You've got so much room left of it. Long left. Hit that in the middle of the green. No good. Bridgestone Tour BXS player here can buy 4 dozen for price of 3 right now. Nice to know. They've been very nice to me though and sent me these balls, but that's good to know. 4 for 3. Go Bridgestone right now. Schmid killing me, says Colton Summers. That was they just showed a replay of that Ben Griffin shot. That was a hell of a shot, man. A hell of a shot, especially with where he was and Schmid being in the center of the fairway. It felt like Schmid, was really licking his chops there, but fatted one into the bunker. Big missed opportunity there. Ricky in the fairway. He's going to have to hit a little low rising cut too. This is very Colonial with those trees on the right, trees on the left. I like what they've done with that. That looks like a nice. I want to say Barranca, but I believe Barranca is a California-specific term. We heard it every 5 seconds during the U.S. Open and LACC. Golf course I play at has a Barranca. I'm going to take this Ireland trip off the screen. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it. Why not? It's not bothering anybody. It's not like there's golf playing over here. Man, Matty Schmid, what a poor shot that was. Let's see. So Schmid is here. Looks like it's rolling a little. Yeah, it's sloping away from him, and I really do think that his ball is buried. I think it's a fried egg. I think it's an Andy Johnson fried egg. I missed Angel's shot, but he's walking up with what's in his hand. Is it a wedge? Is it a putter? Is it a wedge? Is it a putter? It looks like a putter. Angel find the green? Who's your early pick for Memorial? Xander. Just a more feeling than anything else. But, I just feel like last year winning 2 majors, being, at least making it something of a conversation with Scotty for Player of the Year. He's been lacking this year. It has not been the same level. My man Rick Gaiman keeps picking him, thinking that it's gonna kick into form. And I could see him winning. He's so long. It was crazy. I was watching him in person at Quill Hollow last week. He's like as long as Rory now. Xander. 185 ball speed, cruising. Still has that like syrupy tempo, easy speed. I've been very surprised at how long Xander Schauffele's gotten. It's one of the reasons why he won last year, but those 2 majors, but he's a bomber now. He's on top. I'm gonna look it up. Driving distance. Let's see where Xander Schauffele's at. Angel did find the middle of the green, so he's got 3 putts from here to win. Angel's gonna do it. He's left the first one well short. That's a half fried egg. Was that an over easy for Matty Schmid on 17? And here he is getting a look at the lie. Shaking his head. Well, that's what happens when you fan a cut into a bunker short-sided. Sometimes it plugs. Sometimes it plugs. The boys are back in town. I'm giving this to Angel, guys. He chased him down. Well, I guess he didn't really chase him down, but he did make a crucial birdie on, was it 15? And now he's got 2 putts from about 12 feet to win it. It would be very, very senior tour to 4-putt the last hole to squander a chance. But we shall see. What's offered to use for the shot visualization on the left side of the screen? This is just TourCast. This is available on your app, on the website. Anything, yeah. Nothing proprietary on this screen right now. He's got to go to the abyss for this ball. Yeah, he's got to really get super vertical. Got to enter and get to the sand underneath it. Angel Cabrera's got 2 putts to win, and he'll use the 2. He'll tap it in. Angel Cabrera is your senior PGA champion, and Matty Schmid played that right into the rough. Half shank? Full shank? Hazeltown? Yeah, no good. I think this came off the hosel. Oh, it's kind of a toe shank. Yeah, that thing just shot right on him. Right hand came off the club very quickly. He'll do really well to make bogey now. And Ben Griffin has he's reattached one hand to the trophy because Matty Schmidt is still chipping. Still chipping. Shanksville says Colton Summers. I think it was a toe shank. I think it was a toe shank. Angel is officially your winner, and Ben Griffin has hit it to tap-in range. And I'm not going to say that he's officially your winner, but he's going to have a 2-shot lead and maybe a 3-shot lead going into the last hole. He's played 4 over since the 3rd hole, so it has not been pretty. He hasn't made a birdie since the 2nd hole. You know, this has got to feel like a grind of a round, and he's opened the door many times for Schmid to walk through it, but he just hasn't. All right, Schmid is chipping. Oh, and it's a nasty lie too. Oh, 2 gross lies. He had a half fried egg in the bunker, and then this one is found a real tuft of grass to the right side. When is next college video coming out? Early next week. We got the University of Florida. We've got the University of Florida. It looks like three out of our 4 teams. Actually, you know what? I'm so excited, man. I get so excited when I realize what I can put on the screen. Let's put something else on there so you guys can get a good look at this. We're gonna put the college. So they're making the cut after 3 rounds today. So every school, all 30 schools play 3 rounds of stroke play, including by the way, BYU, which did not play today. They played their first round on Thursday because they don't play on Sundays. They don't play on Sundays in any sport. So they played their 3rd round on Friday when everyone else was finishing their. Whoa. I got you guys. Just give me a second here. There we go. Okay, now I just gotta. So here's the leaderboard for the college. So top 12, or top 15, I should say, after today get to advance to the last round of stroke play. And then the final round of stroke play is tomorrow. And then after that, the top 8 teams here advance to the match play. So BYU is in. They are into the 4th round. And this is the magic number. So as of right now, it would be Florida State and Luke Clanton playing against Auburn in the first round of match play. But we'll see how that finishes out. Still 1 more round to go. And if you think there's volatility at the end of PGA Tour events, there is crazy volatility at the end of college golf events. All right, Matty Schmid has made his bogey. It's a 2-shot lead going to 18 for Ben Griffin. This is one where Ben was lucky to win if he wins. He did open it about 5 times for Matty to steal this. That Bermuda is really is crazy. LMAO, Dan is going to glout for sure. What am I going to glout about? Ben Griffin headline, cast anchor. Ben Griffin secures win. We need some sort of anchoring pun. Well, he's not winning. It doesn't seem like Matty Schmid's going to win. So we can hold off on the anchoring talk. Do you think Matty or Bud could overtake Ben Griffin? No, says Ethan Nicholas. I don't. Definitely not Bud. I don't see Ben Griffin making a 7 here, which is what he would need in order to be alive. Damn, that Firebird Sam Burns won in 2022 is sick. Yeah, you get a car for winning this week. I saw Davis Riley, and you get another cardigan or jacket. All right, we're on 18T already. They're trying. Someone told them, hey, we got 2 minutes left in the broadcast window. They're not going to finish. They're not going to finish. But Ben Griffin, big tee shot here. A par wins the tournament for Ben Griffin. 440 yards straight away. It starts in the middle of the fairway. It is cutting. He seems to like it very much. Now it's kind of holding its line. Right rough. Right rough for Ben Griffin. He's all smiles. A 79 Firebird is crazy, says Colton Summers. Yeah, I'm not a big car guy, but Ben Griffin, def going to say the car is Carolina blue and meant for him. LOL, that's a good question. It's a good question, Hallie's Berries. Unfortunately, UNC missed NCAAs. They didn't even make it to the tournament. They did not advance past their regionals, and that's why David Ford, the number 1 player in college golf, made his professional debut this week. Oh, Georgia's not making it. UCLA is not making it. So we did Auburn, we did Florida, and we did Texas. So 3 of our 4 schools look good to make it to match play, and I will be at the match play. WTF says Lawrence Myers, this is some horrible golf. What's also horrible is I've seemed to have lost contain on this. There we go. We're back. All right, Matty Schmidt on 18. He's got the 3-wood out. That's on a very, very, very similar line to Ben Griffin's. But Les Club finds the fairway. Okay. So if Schmidt can hit it close, put a little pressure on Ben Griffin. It's not over yet. He almost doesn't deserve to win, says Lawrence Myers. The lowest score wins, but I would agree. It has been anything but inspiring. Great schools to choose, says Brandon Carpenter. Yes, we got to get out of the SEC, though. We've done 4 SEC schools, and we've got to... Is a rare thing David Ford making his pro debut, not playing NCAA. Yeah, well, he won PGA Tour U. So this week he's just on a sponsors exemption. Next week he won't play. It's Memorial. But starting at the Canadian Open, him and Luke Clanton will be officially PGA Tour players. Ben Griffin strolling up the 18th. I can turn off officially. I just saw right on the money some infomercial coming on my screen. Senior PGA. Nope. Talk about leaking oil. Wow, says Lawrence Myers. Yeah, I mean, he birdied the first, eagled the second, and since then has played 4 over. This kind of reminds me a little bit of when Brian Harmon won in Texas. You know, it wasn't pretty. It was a bit of a slog, and not a bit of a slog. It was a slog the entire week, and the entire day that final round. I remember it was Brian Harmon and Andrew Novak, but you know, at least this one got close for a second. At least there was a one shot lead before that 2-shot swing there. Or sorry, there was a 1-shot lead as they were going to 17 before Matty Schmidt made a bit of a mess from the middle of the fairway. But let's look at TourCast and see what they've both got here. So. Okay, so here's what we got. Griffin might have some tree issues, but that pin's on the left side, so we can kind of land something like right here. Schmidt is in a good spot. Good angle to that back left pin. And he'll be able to, he's playing first, which helps him here. You know, put one up there, make Griffin look at it. And you call that horrible when Harmon won. Yeah, it was horrible. It was not a good show. I'm not saying this has been fantastic television. Come on, you Spurs, says Dick Robert 99. You're lucky I'm in a good mood and the stream is almost over because I might have put you on tap for that, on timeout for that. Surprised none of the other players made a score to threaten that final group. I agree. I thought someone was going to post 10 or 11 under. I thought Tommy was going to do it. I said 11 under would be the number that would really make Ben Griffin nervous. I stand by it. Oh my God. Did you guys see that? A cart drove right in the middle of Ben Griffin while he was standing over the ball with 4 volunteers on it. Come on, guys. Unfazed. He didn't back off or anything. Did that distract him? Are they saying that? Are they suggesting that? Because he kind of looked up and then you'd expect him to back off, but he didn't. He didn't back off. Downfalls are sometimes enjoyable to watch. Yeah, but I don't know. This one, not so much. I mean, if Schmidt would have made a par in the last hole, it would be a very different narrative. Wow. So Florida State, Texas Tech, Ole Miss. Ole Miss has got the lead. So the guy who's leading the tournament. Actually, let's show you guys that too. So the winner of this tournament, if gets an invite into the Masters, but not if they turn pro. So I was gonna try not to pronounce that guy's last name. This Texas A&M player is a senior, from what I gather. Let's see, player profile. What year is he? I'm pretty sure he's a senior because I'm pretty sure he's in PGA Tour U. But Michael Lasasso is a junior. He's actually got a sponsor invite to play in the Rocket Mortgage. He's number 4, I think, player in college or something like that. So if he wins the individual and doesn't turn pro, which why would he? He's got another year of college, and he's going to be in a great spot for PGA Tour U because the PGA Tour U rankings does start counting your junior year toward the end, and then winning NCAA as a junior would put you way up there. He would get into the Masters with a win. Michael Lasasso. Luke Clinton is there. He's 8 back. Jackson Coyven tied for 7th with a top 10. He locks up his PGA Tour card in the last event of the year, which makes him eligible to go to the PGA Tour next week. Literally next week. Or not next week, that's Memorial. He could if Auburn wins the national championship again, which is highly possible, does Jackson Coyven really stay? Does he really stay? He'd have won SEC individuals 2 years in a row. He'll have won national championship 2 years in a row. Do you really stay? That's after the Gordon Sargent thing. It's a really interesting conversation. All right, Matty Schmid, only a gap wedge from 138. Hit this close, Matty. Hit this close and make it interesting. It is drawing. Is it the right number for Matty Schmid? Nope. No, it is not. Over the green. Hangs up in the rough, short of the water. Matty Schmid had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to put some pressure on Ben Griffin, and he just failed to do it. Would Jackson's coach beg him to turn pro? Coach Nick Kleinert is the coach of Auburn. They're a wagon. They're an absolute wagon. It's a really interesting call. And I plan to ask him about it. I'll see him next week, or I'll see him in a couple days. Ben Griffin has landed it well short. It stays on top of the bunker. It's gonna be an interesting stance. It's not a guaranteed up and down, which is what makes Matty Schmid's play down the stretch here so frustrating. It was a real battle of attrition. I mean, no one really did anything on the back nine. Bud Colley made a double bogey. Tommy Fleetwood missed a bunch of putts. Didn't do what he needed to do to put pressure on the leaders. Ricky Fowler in 16th. That green is hella firm because that was a wedge that came in from Ricky and that just barely held on to the green. But yeah, here's what we're looking at in the college. Lasasso's another North Carolina kid. Know that name from CGA stuff. Won the Carolinian recently. Yeah, Ole Miss. His teammate qualified for the U.S. Open. They were telling me about that. Gordon is a case study of do you turn pro ASAP or stay to make the coach happy? I mean, what Laz was saying, stay to make the coach happy, but also stay to put money in your pocket. I mean, you get money for being on the PGA Tour and all, but with NIL, he already signed with Nike. He already signed with Titleist. I'm sure Vanderbilt put together some nice dollars for him to stay. So, look, playing good golf it always takes care of everything else. If they win the national championship and Jackson is a part of that, and he's either going to make a bunch of money on the PGA Tour, or he's either going to make a bunch of money at Auburn because he is the first guy to win SECs back-to-back since 1979, I believe is the year. So and think about how many good players have played in the SEC, and he's done it his first 2 years, freshman and sophomore year. What would you guys do? Auburn is a dream, and their college team is amazing. And there's money. It's not as easy a conversation as it used to be. I'll say that. It's not as easy. It's not as easy a decision as it used to be. It used to be like, I can make all this money right away. Why don't I now? You can still make money now. We're seeing it in the NBA to some extent, right? Like some players, they can make a ton of money, maybe even more money in some cases in NIL. A lot of North Carolina guys playing well recently. Griffin, Poston, Novak, Gerard, Batia, Smalley. Yeah, it's North Carolina is one of the great golfing states in this country, with Pinehurst and the USGA having a big presence there now and amazing golf courses. the sandy soil down there. I mean, even it's kind of like New York, the Westchester. Like even the average course, not average, but even the courses that aren't, the ones that everyone hears about. Like I'm thinking about Southern Pines and Mid Pines that are old classic. They're just amazing. The terrain down there is so great. We've had players turn pro after their sophomore year and be on PGA Tour. Absolutely, yeah, that happens all the time. I mean, Blaze Brown decided not to go to college. Coaches are throwing everything at the sun to make sure stars stay for 4 years. Well, PGA Tour U is a big carrot and an incentive towards staying for 4 years. But if you lock it up after your sophomore year, it's a bit of a different conversation. Ben Griffin's in a really bad spot. He's gripping this all the way on the metal part of the shaft. I mean, he's like a foot away from the ball. This is wild. He's just got to knock it on the green. Oh, he's done even better than that. He's hit it to about 4.5 feet. And unless Schmid holds this from the bunker, we're going to get an anticlimactic finish, which sort of felt like how this was going the whole time. He gripped that thing. He was almost touching the club head there. That was wild. All right, Matty Schmid, do something special here, bud. Do something special here. Hole it out. Hole it out. Otherwise, we have an all-time, not all-time. We've had some anticlimactic finishes. 72 holes is a long time. Not every finish is going to be incredible. Oh, he's done an amazing job. He's done it. He's done it. Matty Schmid has holed out from long of 18. Oh my goodness. Oh, where's that been all day? And all of a sudden, Ben Griffin's 4.5 footer. He's smiling. He's not smiling. Inside, he's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? That 4.5 footer just got a lot longer and a lot harder. We asked for Matty Schmid to do something special on the 18th, and he did. He holes out, and now Ben Griffin has to make this to avoid a playoff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a shot. And it wasn't like racing in. It was right in the middle the whole way. Two arms up in celebration for Matty Schmid. Wow. That is, you want to talk about wry smile? That is the definition of a wry smile. You know that meme of like the guy who's like so angry, but he's got the mask on. He's coping underneath it. That's what it is. That's what that was. Ben Griffin was not. That wasn't actually funny. That wasn't funny. That really wasn't funny for him. It's a classic golfer reaction too, where like he should be so happy right now. I guarantee all he's thinking about is all the shots that he pissed away on the back nine. He's like, now it happens. I manifested that, says Hallie's Berries. I did. Okay, Ben Griffin. Here we go. No Tourcast. I'm getting the Tourcast off the screen. We cannot risk a spoiler here. Ben Griffin, this putt just got so much harder to win his second PGA Tour event, but his first on his own ball. We got a great worm cam here. Worm cam, thank you. And he's got it right in the middle. Okay, Matty Schmid. What an electric 45 seconds that was. Ends up an up and down from Ben Griffin. He had 3 on the back nine to save par to edge Matty Schmid. He's a 2-time winner, and you better believe those bells you're hearing in the background, those are Ryder Cup bells for Ben Griffin. He's thinking about it now. A win on his own ball. Finished 8th in the PGA last year. It's all coming up Ben Griffin. And he gets the Carolina Blue card to finish it off. That actually ended up being pretty awesome. That's why we do these watch-alongs. You never know what's going to happen. Ben Griffin is your winner. We'll be back next week for the Memorial.